if I was Floyd and he was me,
Yeah.
he would never have to fight again because that exhibition shit,
Yeah.
as me being his little brother, hey, little bro, we finna do 10 rounds and we both gonna get 100+ million for it.
Right.
And we ain't never got to box again. Well,
Right.
well, I already been getting these bets, but now it's time for you to get your just due.
Right.
And you ain't never.
Yo, you know the deal. We back again. We never slacking. Word 'em up. Ladies and guys, whether if you drunk or you high, it's time to pay respects to the illest man alive. If you think you got a point, he'll shrink you down to size. And from there it's downhill like a slinky or a slide. Open your eyes, got a deep connection with the rise, so you might see them jump in whenever they go live. Peep it, this channel blowing up now, it's not a secret. With tons of exclusive interviews to listen to. Them other channels I hate, but yo, they missing clues. They start narratives, sip the goose and twist the truth. It don't take a rocket scientist to get the proof. Just click the live at 4 p.m. Eastern time. But when you chime in, make sure you keep it kind. But if cowards want to debate, then it's feasting time. My man Jusdu shine busy all the time. Grind 24/7, 365. Videos he might have 365. My rhyme's sick, they make you do a 365. You get a rich if you think you fit to survive. It's Jusdueboxing, time to click the live. Ain't no beginners, if you soft, you ain't down to ride. I crush you, respect too, it's Jusdu. He got the illest boxing show on the internet. The boy been a threat and he ain't even had dinner yet. Word 'em up. Yeah. You know what time it is. "4 p.m. Eastern. Click the link."
In the building. Make sure y'all subscribe to Just Do Boxing, the best boxing talk on YouTube.
Just Do Boxing in the building, 4 o'clock shorty, man. Y'all make sure y'all check him out. He's going to be live today at 4 o'clock, man. And he's going to be spewing some good stuff as he always do with an unbiased approach, man. He's probably the most unbiased channel on YouTube.
What's going on? And one of my favorite channels, if y'all into that pugilistic perfection, if y'all into that boxing, that's that boy Just Do Boxing here on YouTube. Make sure y'all check out Just Do Boxing, the only unbiased boxing channel on YouTube, because I am definitely biased when I talk about boxing. So
as always, we got to shout out everybody in the chat, man. Shout out to my brother Just Do. Y'all make sure y'all go sub to Just, man. Just doing a hell of a job over there. Had a great interview today. The brother, and I say it respectfully, one of the most non-biased individuals that I've ever heard speak on the sport of boxing. And I got a lot of love and respect for my brother Just, man. And right now, we're going to give him his just due. Shout out to my brother Just Do, man.
What's good? What's good? Salute to the family. How y'all feeling today? On this good Tuesday, we gonna build on this boxing and give it its just due how we always do. Y'all already know, smash the like button, sub to the channel, turn your notifications on, share the live, support the grind, and we gonna get to it. We gonna talk about it, man. It was too good to be true, man. Too good to be true, man. Teofimo Lopez, bro. Like I said, man, his career do need to be studied. I believe Chris Algieri when he said his career need to be studied. This dude is by far one of the silliest, idiotic fighters that I think I've encountered or just came across and watched and talked about. He just don't do things that make sense at all. And then you got people across these social media platforms, you know, making arguments for this dude. Like, you can't defend ignorance. You get what I'm saying? You just can't. Whoa. But we gonna get to it. What we at on the likes? We had 1 million yet? Not yet. We gonna keep working. B Fighter, what it do, man? I think it would have been a good fight. We're gonna get to all of it. Rob, what it do, homie? A in the building was good. Shout out to Jack Clean Boxing. How you feeling? Mike Kirkland, my brother. How you feeling? Big Soldier, Joe Quinn was good with it. Ty Rob is in the building. D for the win. Jordan was good, my guy. Shout out to the Queen Aisha. Peace. Queen, how you feeling? Shout out to Jordan. Yeah, man. Yeah, man, we're gonna talk about it all, man. He's fumbling the bag in real time. BJ33 is in the building. Big Dog Willie, my God, what's good with it? So I didn't know. 1985 leather can't go make you make you he did have that leather Kango on. That shit was bogus, wasn't it?
And we ain't never got a box again. Well,
Right.
well. I already been getting these back, but now it's time for you to get your just do.
Shout out to Big Dog Willie. Man, that leather Kango was out of control, wasn't it? It was out of control, man. Giving Goofy too much. Yeah, man. I just don't get it, bro. I feeling what's good with it, bro. How you feeling, Aisha? Shout out to the Queen. How you feeling? We gonna get to this, but like I said, man, I don't know, man. This shit is just idiotic, bro. I mean, you got these layups and alley oops. You got these fights being thrown at your feet, and you want to play businessman and getting away. And now all of a sudden, this is not a good fight, and they forcing you to take the fight. Man, this guy's an idiot, man. I'm gonna keep saying it, bro. And just as quick as the fight was on, it was off just as fast. I mean, I never seen like, just I don't understand what else could you be doing that's better. I mean, the fights that you're calling for are not there for you, because clearly the fighters that you're calling for are not interested. And you got a layup, which would look like a layup. I'm gonna call it what it is, man. There's so many people that feel like Devin Haney ain't where he need to be, and that'd be a dangerous fight for Devin Haney. Why wouldn't he take it? These dudes talking about how bad he looked, how much he ran, how he not back, he's scared to get hit, he a bitch, but you won't fight him. Make this shit make sense, bro. Make this shit make sense. You won't fight him? It's crazy to me, man. This dude by far is idiot, bro. And you saying you need to fight to be in America. I'm hearing you saying it need to be at 140 now. Like that's a joke. That's a joke when the dude clearly say he not fighting at 40 no more. You see what I'm saying about this guy, yo? This is what I mean. Every single time it's something. He getting his own way. You know what I'm saying? Jannar, what's good with it, homie? Yeah, it's gonna be silliest, man. It's gonna be ridiculous, man. He might be posting on his socials, but I ain't been keeping up with it. But somebody sent me something saying that he he demanding the fight to be at 140 now, something like that. And Bill Haney is the one that posted, and he received a message that told him that Teofimo was pulling out of the fight. Yeah, he don't want no smoke, but he want to fight. Yeah, but Boots ducking, right? But he really want to fight Boots. You don't want to fight Devin Haney. You get what I'm saying? But you want to fight Boots. That's why I said all the time this shit was clout chasing 101. Let me pull this up, man. Y'all hit that like button, man. We gonna get to this. And this is what Bill posted. This Bill Haney posted this, a little while before I got up here. He said, "Dear John Haney," he said this to gently advise you that Teofimo Lopez has withdrawn from the fight, as we like to thank you for your efforts and professionalism throughout the process. Hey, yo, whatever. We're all them people that keep saying he want to fight everybody, though. Nah, I'm sick of it. We're all Boots ducking Teofimo. So where that energy at when this guy can continuously turn down fights in which he say he won? All the shit he talked about Devin Haney, you don't at least want to punch him in his face for real? If he ain't looking like himself, if he looking like a shell of himself, if he looking scary, he's still undefeated, bro. He's a name in boxing. Let's cut the shit. He a bigger name in the sport than you. He get paid more than you do. He's fought on pay-per-view and you haven't. All that trash talking you do to him, but he in a better situation than you are. And he just got drugged by Ryan not too long ago, but he's still in a better situation than you because he plays cards a lot smarter, bro. He do, man. And he pressed you for this fight. Let's not make no mistake. He pressed him for this fight, and this dude didn't want it. All the shit talking that he do with these fighters, bro. It just don't make no sense, man. I don't get it. My bad, y'all. Give me 2 seconds. My bad. Yeah. So, like I said, Lewis 4,500. Oh my God, what it do, bro? So, like I said, man, it's enough of the BS talk. Enough of dragon fighters. You can say what you want about Devin Haney. You can say you don't like his style. You can say he shot. He don't look the same. You could say you know, he can't punch. All this different stuff. He broken. His chin is broken. But he with this shit. I don't care what you say. He with this shit. Even in his roughest, lowest moment, when he was getting punched down to the canvas, the man ain't had no quit in him. And then he bounced back, took some time off, got his mind right. He got his win over Jose Ramirez. Look, it wasn't the most aesthetically pleasing to the eye, but it was what it was. He had to win, and that's what he did. Ryan lost. You get me? So, and then even after that, he still had the confidence to say, hey, yo, Tio, what's up? I'll fight you right now. Like, I'll fight you next, not in the future, next, like now, like let's fight. And this dude don't want to fight, man. I'm tired of these people making excuses for him. All that talent, and he don't know how to take advantage of it, bro. This will be a really good win. I don't give a damn what nobody say. Beating Devin Haney, even with him looking the way he looked against Ramirez, is better than beating Barboza. No disrespect to Barboza. Haney a lot more accomplished, got a pretty solid resume, despite what people want to say, right? He very accomplished very early. Like that would be a great win for Teofimo. He don't have too many reasons why he can't take this fight. And look, I'll start off by saying I don't know all the ins and outs. I don't have all the information, but we had the basic information. Him another opportunity having to take a fight and him not wanting to take the fight. You get what I'm saying? Shout out to Big Dog Willie back in the super chat. He said, just do Teal might have clinched duck of the year. I'm telling you. It don't look good. It don't look good. He sure ain't being a takeover for real. This ain't what the takeover should. This ain't representing what the takeover should mean. In my opinion, you got an opportunity, bro. Got an opportunity, and this is what I'm saying. So now the fight got to happen at 140, what I'm hearing, right? But you want Boots at 47. But it's no to Conor Ben at 47, but it's just the Boots and Crawford, though, right? Come on, man. This is why I said this should be pissing me off with this guy, man. And right, listen, the fight, we could say what we want about how we thought the fight was going to look. We feel like that about all fights, but we still got to see him. This would have been a real opportunity for Devin Haney to answer any remaining questions that people had about him. This would have been an opportunity for Tio to really be the takeover and start submitting himself. You get what I'm saying? Like, he don't want to do it. This will be a really good win, a really good move for him. I'm sorry, man. Listen, I ain't about to give him all these reasons for why he can't take the fight. Oh, I'm gonna get cheated. Oh, I can't win a decision. Like, I'm not trying to hear all of that. You bad, right? You ain't nobody. You so much better than everybody else. Why you worried about not getting a fair shake? I thought you better than this dude. I thought he's shaky. I thought he broke. I thought he looked terrible. I thought all he did was run. You can't beat that guy.
And we ain't never got a box again. Well,
Right.
well. I already been getting these bets, but now it's time for you to get your just due.
Shout out to Big Dog Willie. He ain't got no excuse in the world not to be taking this fight. For real, y'all. Damn, man. Once again, you get in the way. And in the time where, you know, we in boxing, where we seen politics be the reason that fights don't happen, we cannot blame politics this time around. When it comes to them two, in particular, for me, based on what I've seen, it's been one guy wanting that fight and the other guy consistently not wanting it. And now you get more of an indication of that, him not wanting to fight. It's too many excuses for him. But he talked way too much shit about black fighters and people to not want to fight when it's time. He ain't on shit. He don't keep the same energy. What happened to keeping the same energy? You don't want to fight this kid? Come on, man. He ain't looking his best, right? He looking like food, right? Right? All he did was run, man. He ain't stay steady. His legs was bad. He looked uncomfortable. He ain't want to take a punch. Come on, man. That's not somebody you could beat. You still not confident you could beat Devin Haney? Even at the Ryan Garcia and the Jose Ramirez fight, you still not confident you could beat him? Knock it off, man. You don't stop talking about, man, and I mean it. He need to keep his mouth closed on all things concerning melanated folks. He don't want no smoke. When it's time to get in there and prove that you should be getting paid what these dudes should be getting paid because you could get in there and beat them, you don't want to prove that. You rather sit on the sideline and troll. That's what I'm saying. What an idiot and clout chase, man. I'm not giving this dude no passes, man. He getting cooked from here on out until I see a reason to let up off him. Man, the hell with it. You want to play? All right, I'm gonna entertain this shit. You don't want to fight. That's what I know. That's what I do know. You at 140. You at 140 calling out welterweights and junior middleweights that's about to move up to 68 because you don't want nothing to do with them lions and them dogs, them lions, tigers, and bears at 140. That's what's going on. I see what's going on. E-Man was good with it, fam. Rob T over there. You can't say for sure though, because he just think about it. He just fought on the card in Times Square. He ain't get robbed. You get what I'm saying? 704 Joe, what it do, homie? He said the makeover. Ace, what's good, family? All love. Jamal said, get this clown out of boxing. I mean, listen, if this how you moving, the hell with him. Finance TV, my dog, what's good with it? Why apologize if you don't want the bag or the opportunity? He taking over, wasting time. You get what I'm saying, bro? That's a perfect. Shout out to Rob. Was Turkey keeping out the fights before they finalize? Yeah, I mean, I think that's just his ambition. I think he's just excited to talk, to talk about his plans. And I do think, hey, what's good with it, bro? I do think it's with good intentions is to get the fans, in the mood for, get them excited about the next thing coming up, right? I know with the fact that guys been fumbling the bag and not making it to that next big fight, right? When they having multiple fights lined up. But I think the intent behind it is to get the fans, behind what he's doing, right? He's showing you like, look, I'll set this fight up, but look, I'll give y'all this. All they got to do is get past, you know what I'm saying? Get past this guy and you got you a fight. So I'm not totally mad at him for it, but these dudes, like, think about it. If somebody tell you got a more lucrative opportunity if you get past your current fight, that should motivate you more. That shouldn't be a reason to let up off the gas. You get what I'm saying? That shouldn't be a reason to like become complacent and overlook somebody, because we all know, and fighters know better than us. I mean, if you shouldn't overlook anybody. You overlook a guy, you might not make it to that next fight. So I get it. You know what I mean? I just rather it not be that way. But I feel like the intent behind it is decent, right? I feel like he's just trying to get a fan something to look forward to while giving us, right? You're giving us a warm up to a bigger show. And that's all. I think he's trying to really capture the imagination of the fans and get us on board with being entertained by the way he do things and setting up fights, right? You know what I'm saying? But think about it, yo. These dudes are fumbling the bag, and I don't really. And think, yo. Turkey not the only one doing it. PBC just did it. They put Jamal Charlo and Caleb Plant on the same card, and they told you, as long as they get past each other, they fight. Right? You get what I'm saying? Like, they all do it. I just don't think the intent is bad behind it. I think it's with good intentions for sure. I do. I think it's, like I said, to keep us locked in. Right? We'll pay attention to this card because we know it's something bigger to come from it, right? It's all about trying to keep our attention. You know what I'm saying? Prize Fighter TV. What it do, my guy? He'll need some guidance. I'm telling you he do. Shout out to Rob. I'm telling you he do. Lopez versus Claggett too. Dumbass 11 million for 80. Turns it down. Hey, he don't got no reason, no excuse for it, yo. He don't got no excuse for it. None whatsoever. Shout out to Mike Kirkland. Appreciate the love. As always, man. Tio and Canelo, two fighters I hope get knocked out in their next fight. They move funny in my eyes. They move funny in a lot of people's eyes, Mike. I don't think you all point at all with that, bro. We just here talking about what's out there. I'm not here to put no smut on them. I always tell y'all that this dude's very talented and it could be a phenomenal fighter if he just allow his talents to speak for him and just move accordingly, right? He do need some real ones around him. I said this before, some guidance, things like that, because he clearly getting in his own way. And I'm sorry, I can't see this being a smart decision. Like, all of this BS, all of these conspiracies, you're not going to get a fair shake. Go out there and handle business, bro. Why are you concerned about that if you're so much better than the guy? If none of these guys are on your level, what are you talking about decisions for? You just had a 12-round fight and you got the decision. You didn't get robbed. Now, all of a sudden, when it comes to Haney, they're going to rob you, right? Because Haney is his boy, right? This shit is ridiculous, man. It's sad. Dude don't want no scraps, man. Shout out to Mike Kirkland. SG was good. I'm hearing it's 11 million between both fighters and not 11 million specifically for Tio. Hey, man, look, that wouldn't be too hard to believe, SG, but the only thing was where people got the 11 million from, and I'm glad I played the interview yesterday. He went on Punch Drunk Shout out to him. Tio was saying, I'm not gonna sell my soul for 11 million. Right? So you figure if it's 11 million between two of y'all, you don't say it that way because you know full well when you say, oh, I'm not selling my soul for 11 million, people are assuming that 11 is just for you alone. So he kind of put that out there. He planted that seed. You get what I'm saying? The average someone, what it do? Yeah, he's backing out. This is a direct message, that Bill received, and he posted it. And he said the Devin Haney error. Like, yo, these dudes don't want to fight. Said, why would Oscar want to work with Tio? He did make a pitch to him, Oscar and McQueen. What it do? He said, if you don't got no promoter, he said, let's work or something like that. We could take you to the next level and make you the star that you're supposed to be. Something like that, he said to Tio. So I don't know what's the deal with him, but again, it's more of the same. Not making the fights that the people want, and then trying to frame everybody as some type of duck, or they scared of you, or don't nobody want to fight you. Or we seeing time and time again is you. You get what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you fought Arnold Barboza, but it's a lot of people that would have preferred to see you fight Subriel Matias. But you, after talking all that crazy shit about him, you decided not to fight him. Get what I'm saying? Now it's the same shit with Haney. Even you got real history with him. Y'all been going back and forth for years. And now you find yourself at a crossroads where he honestly is looking. If you going solely off his last performance, he looked right for the picking, right? He looked right for the picking. You don't have no excuse for not taking that smoke right now, none whatsoever. But like I've been saying, and I'm gonna continue to say it, regardless of his reasonings for it, because everybody got their reasons, right? I don't gotta like his reasons. I just feel like they're excuses at the end of the day. But where is this confidence at? Where is this confidence that you can go out there and win a fight? Why all of a sudden when it comes to Haney, you just not gonna get a fair shake? Is the fight gonna be that close that they gonna rob? Like, what we talking about? I just don't see that. I don't see or hear the confidence. Like, I hear him talking, but I don't. The moves don't indicate that he's a guy that's confident with the way he moves at all. Like, it ain't no excuse, bro. Ain't no excuse, man. I'm telling you, about to give people something that they don't want. Another goofy ass fight. I'm telling you. You got it. Barboza you got to pass for that because we understood that Barboza deserved that opportunity, so you had to get him out the way. He's been calling your name for years. We get it. But soon as that is out the way, we get right back to regular scheduled programming. And it's you being a diva. Back to being teaching diva 101 classes and shit. That's what he out here doing. We don't want to see this, man. I just want to see how good the dude is. You know what I'm saying? If you're talented enough, you're good enough, if you the guy you say you are, you should be able to dethrone Haney. Should go over there, don't matter where it's at, Saudi or wherever, and beat his ass. Making these weird ass demands, man. This is what I'm saying, bro. That's not good business. Every time I turn around, you got another strategic way of getting out of the fight. Shit is crazy. Shout out to 2 Cents. And McQueen, what it do, man? Boys be crying, shouting, what it do? Till keep dugging fights and wonder why you don't get paid. So I'm telling you, he not taking advantage of the moments, man. You know what I mean? Yo, I'm telling you, shout out to Greg, man. He leave you speechless, bro. It's like you don't know what you can say. But hey, man, it's boxing. I gotta talk about it. Look, regardless of what people say about if they like this fight, it would have been a meaningful fight for both guys. Both guys. You get what I'm saying? Tio don't want to lose again, and Devin ain't trying to lose, right? He's trying to stay undefeated, right? I much respect to Devin Haney, man. Team Haney, bro, because all of that shit that they've been getting, getting slung their way since the Ryan Garcia incident. These dudes still staying down, still believing in themselves, and still trying to challenge themselves. I don't want to hear shit. The last thing he should have been doing is trying to chase a guy like Tio. Like he looked like he need another shake back fight, but nah. Instead, he's actively like, nah, let me get that guy right there. I'll fight him. I'll shut his mouth. I'm tired of him running his mouth, and I'll fight him. And then Tio over here like, yeah, man, they're trying to rush me. They're trying to rush me to this Haney fight, man. Yeah, they're trying to rush it with the Haney thing. And, they're trying to rush it. Why would they be rushing it? I thought you wanted to fight now. Now you over there talking about you don't know when you're going to fight. I'm just going to focus on my gym. Man, bro, I'm telling you, man. Talk about and stuff up, bro. I'm telling you. Richo, what's good with it, fam? Man, everybody in the building, if y'all didn't hit the like button, make sure y'all do. Shout out to my homie D for the win, man. Sunshine, what it do for homie? Mr. Empire, what's good with it, man? How you feeling? We're going to keep going, man. Look, like I said, man, I just want to see the dude stand on the stuff that he talked. And the reason why I had this energy for him, because out of all the guys that's in position, out of all of the names that we talk about, he by far seems to be content with screwing things up for himself and taking his position for granted that he have in boxing. You know what I mean? Boxing with 2-4 was good with it. You got real opportunities, bro. And I'm going to keep saying it because it's legit. And I think you need to hear it. People need to hear this shit. Like, at what point do you stop playing around with your career, right? You just said you got a family, right? You got people watching you, right? You talking all this takeover stuff. You got opportunities, T.O. Is this what you do when you get a meaningful opportunity? You mess it up? Come on, man. Prove me wrong. Prove the people wrong and fight Devin Haney. I swear, this is mind-blowing. You mean to tell me you not confident after the Ryan situation mixed with the Jose Ramirez fight that people can't stop critiquing? You still ain't confident you can beat that man? It's crazy, bro. So why talk? I don't never want to hear him talk about none of these fighters no more. LeVar, what's good with it, homie? How you feeling? Dante, what's good, homie? What's good, Brody? How you feeling? DOG, what's good? So 50 million. Still Wilder was ducking him. Yeah. B. Hayes, what it do? My God, yeah, he's unbelievable, man. This shit is like just foolery at an all-time high. You know what I'm saying? Let's keep going, though. Like, I got a couple. We're going to get to it. And then we got a couple things to talk about. We're going to talk about Frank Martin, too. And, you know, he split from Derrick James. He has some things to say about Keyshawn fight coming up. So we're going to talk about we'll get to some Frank Martin business too, man. We're going to get to some Frank Martin business. Let me take this down real quick. So, yeah, man, that's Bill Haney making that post and letting it be known that he's been informed directly that Tio is withdrawn from the fight. So unless he come out and say that this is bogus, which I seriously doubt, because I feel like a couple of the solid sources, people that I actually respect, is saying the same thing. So unless I get any other, information that he want to fight, this is what it looked like. I'm hearing this over with, and it's being reported. It's not just me. It's not just a couple. It's everywhere for the people that's paying attention. And from what I understand, it's all consistently because they're saying Teofimo don't want to fight, and he's the one elected to pull out. And like I said, the latest bit that I seen was him demanding that the fight be at 140. You know damn well Devin Haney was done with 140. You claim up and down that you was ready to fight Boots, but you won't fight him at 47 or 45 or catch weight or whatever it was going to be. Come on, make this shit make sense. I'm racking my brain. I don't get it. Despite people say I think it'd be a cool fight, think it would have been a good fight for boxing, bro. We'd have got a chance to see who better out of the two, regardless of what people think about Haney right now. That would have said something. Get what I'm saying? Mo, what's good with it, fam? Man, Teofimo Lopez Z, what it do, fam? I don't think T will ever fight a Black American. It's starting to look like that, bro. It's starting to look like that, and it just seemed like he gonna continue to talk crazy, but not fight these guys, and it blows my mind, bro. It blows my mind because he's never short on words. I mean, in the interviews, he speak a certain way, and then, I guess behind closed doors, he like, nah, this ain't a good fight for me. I really don't want this fight. Yeah, they gonna cheat me. Like, man, come on, bro. Come on, T.O. Where is this at? Where is it? Hold on. I had something for T. Let him on his way, right? Turk about to let this guy on his way.
Turkey fired me. I think that it's just miscommunication. Obviously, me doing my rant a little bit, but nevertheless,
That's not it. Hold on. Take this off real quick. Where is it, Teofimo? Where is it? He said, that basically was saying Devin Haney don't have a choice but to try to fight him. And I just feel like why wouldn't you want this fight right now? Right now, it's right for the picking, bro. Let him on his way. I was hoping for the fight. Yeah, I mean, it's been years in the making. It's right for the taking. And I just, again, there's no excuses why he can't fight this dude. There's no excuse, but he want to troll, though. He trolling all day, playing around. Let me get this up, man. Let me pull this up real quick, y'all. Give me a second. Hit the like button for me. Saying there's no other option for him, but what about you? What's the options for you? Because it seemed like what he calling for, again, that's not what's going to happen. It's only so long you can sit around and keep avoiding opposition and challenges before people just look at you as insignificant. Because I don't think people are going to be trying to hear no more Steve Claggett business. You get what I'm saying? You pulled the okie doke once already. I don't think people are going to be beat for that again. You get me?
With the Devin Haney situation, give us an update. Is it going to happen? We're going to see Tio versus Haney. What's going on with that?
I think, you know what it is? The Haney got no other option but to ask for Teofimo. So, you know, we'll see what happens now. We're ready for anybody. Look at this, man. We're ready for anybody.
Okay.
We stay ready.
All right.
Now, all that talking, you stay ready and you ready for anybody, and that's not true. You clearly not. You might be in some type of shape, but as far as being ready for everybody, I mean, you don't got no reasons why you should be ready for everybody, but I guess you ain't really willing to go out there and prove it. And that shit is disappointing as hell, man. At this point, you might as well get stripped. You know what I mean? You out here turning down fight. They might as well strip your ass, man. You out here playing around. They might as well strip Tio. Dank, what's good with it, homie? Tio Senior said that man would be forgotten. And the crazy part is that Devin Haney is one of the most talked about fighters, man, for better or for worse. I stay low key, what's good with it. And I know people don't like that, but he is. He's one of the most talented boxers in the sport too. You get what I'm saying? I get it. He still got some kinks to work out, and he still got some, improvements to make. But listen, you know what I mean? At least he did win. I'm gonna always say that. You know what I mean? It's always better to go back to the drawing board after a win than a bad loss. You get what I'm saying? So it's improvement from his last fight. And that's all I ever said. The main thing I want to see with him is come out and improve from your last fight and show that you ain't about to get punched all around the ring again. And that's what he was able to do. He was able to do that, and I respect it. And he went right out, and I'm going to keep stressing this point. He went right out and called out this Burton Ernie looking dude, man. His ass look. I finally know who he looked like, bro. Oh, man, his ass looked like he got a nose like Inspector Gadget, bro. Hell yeah, his ass. That's who Tio remind. This is Inspector Gadget, bro. Oh, man. I knew he looked familiar. I thought I seen this dude before as a kid, man. His ass looked like Inspector Gadget, bro. Look at him. I know y'all remember the cartoon. Bro, his ass is like Inspector Gadget for real, bro. And he out here turning down smoke. Nah, we're them Teofimo fans that be talking all that boots talk. Where the hell y'all at today, man? Nah, creating 8 accounts just to talk some Tio shit. Now, I want to hear what they think about this. Now, go ahead and make excuses for him and tell me how they about to rob him and make in Saudi and make up all these conspiracies. Go ahead and do it like he ain't already fighting the Turkey card. And then he said he was doing well after that. He said that in the interview since the Times Square thing. Said he been doing good since then. Nah, bro, you don't get to make up some random conspiracies when it's time for you to defend all that talk that you've been doing, man. Hell no. Damn, I can't understand, bro. Go out there and be great. That's what I would want to see. What is his father telling? His father got to be a bozo. Well, you influencing your son to not take the fight after doing all that trolling? Y'all did all that trolling, bro. Bill went to the liquor store looking for you, Senior. Y'all don't want y'all don't want to fight legally for the money with everything on the line. All this shit you talk, the back and forths. You don't want to draw no blood. You don't want to see your son kick his ass. Bro went looking for you in the liquor store. Y'all don't want to fight? Y'all some different kind of dudes, man. Then y'all get handled in the top rank gym, and y'all don't want no type of lick back. Y'all don't want to get in there and fight nobody. Can't make this shit up, bro. I dare somebody to come here and try and make excuses for this shit. I swear. Shout out to my baby girl, the queen, Miss Jusdu is in the building. Yeah, I don't know how anybody. I could see him being people's favorite fighter once upon a time at 35, but like since he got to 40, I couldn't possibly see that. Shout out to my boxing mom, Miss Barbara D is in the building. How you feeling? Always good to see you. Think Devin need to stay busy, even if it isn't a big fight. Yeah. Now, hey, Jamal, I could rock with that. I think so. Now, Roach was good. His ass looked like Inspector Gadget, bro. And I'm tired of him, man. And y'all know me. Y'all know I'm one of the fairest in the land. I just want to see good fights. And I don't think that would have been a bad fight. It would have been an interesting fight for me, right? I'm not a guy that got to see. It don't have to be a brawl. It don't have to be a knockout. I just would have wanted to see if you can outbox this version of Devin Haney, or what people feel like this version of Devin Haney is now. Could you beat him? Why couldn't you? Get me? Why wouldn't your confidence be high? You just cooked Barboza. You shined on the card. Bro, they had you before him. You get what I'm saying? You fought before he fought after you. It's like a co-main and then Ryan. Like, you get what I'm saying? This will be your opportunity to one-up him and prove to the boxing world, yourself, and all these people that you've been selling for years that Devin Haney can't beat you. Come on, man. Said none of these dudes ain't on your level. You ready for everybody. You look bad in his last fight. He ran. You still don't want to fight? Unbelievable, man. What is going to take? What is it going to take? Seriously, bro. What is it going to take? Man, I don't get it, man. Boxers are strange, bro. And you would be making, I'm assuming, more money than you made in probably all your fights. So again, what the hell are you doing? Don't ever say shit else about Boots, please. Teofimo Lopez Jr., Senior, Junior. Don't mention Boots. Don't mention Boots. If you can't fight, you don't even willing to entertain Devin Haney because you making excuses not to fight a guy. I don't want to hear Boots' name no more. Don't say nothing else about Terrence Crawford. Just leave them grown men alone because they got real shit going on. Did you see Boots out here doing and one mixtape moves in boxing? It's like that scene. And one mixtape is basketball. He doing that shit with boxing gloves on. You get what I'm saying? Beating the fight out of world champions and grown men, making them quit on the stool. Babies on the way, all kinds of motivation. They still quit. That's not something you want to do, bro. You drag your feet when it's time to fight somebody like Devin and you think you can get in there and play around with Boots. He going to send your ass right to where you don't want to go, bro. Thought your esophagus was missing with Kambosos. Boots going to have you feel like you got one lung. Boots going to have you feeling like you operating on one lung, yo, and a quarter tank of gas. I'm telling you. He going to beat your ass when it's all said and done. He saved you. Shout out to my boxing mom being a member for 29 months, man. I appreciate you. And shout out to all the channel members.
And we ain't never got to box again. Well,
right.
well. I already been getting these bets, but now it's time for you to get your just due.
Silly rabbit, man. Tricks are for kids, man. This dude, and I just wish, man, that he would do what he said he'd do for once, man. Till got some serious knob goblin for fans. Yeah, I think I think he got some really gullible people, and I think, no disrespect to nobody, but I think in order for you to be a diehard fan of his, you got to be a bit gullible, right? Because he do too much contradicting. Like he did a lot of contradicting in the interview. If you just listen to what he was saying, right? It's on one end, you're ready to fight now, but on the other end, they trying to rush you into a fight. It's like, huh? Like, dude, what do you mean rush you into a fight? Like, that's how boxing go. Like, you got another opportunity. Okay, you beat Barboza. Like, what do you think? Nobody else supposed to make a fight? Are you done? You beat Barboza and you finished? That's how he acted. He act like, it's over with. Let me take a break now. Nah, get your ass in the ring and fight Haney, bro. Eric, what's good with it, bro? How you feeling? But yeah, you got some serious weird ass fans.
And we ain't never got to box again. Well. I already been getting these bets, but now it's time for you to get your just due.
Yo, you get me, Amy Queen, the whole family, past, present, future, down the lines, man. Every generation's of Teofimos. Y'all better not ever say nothing about Jerron Ennis. Leave him all the way. I knew you didn't want to fight him when you called him Jerron Ennis Boots. I knew it. I knew just saying his name like that, I just knew you didn't want to fight him. Blue Hustle, man, what it do? Crush the legend, my guy. Lee, what's good with it, bro? How you feeling? Stressed out boxing. J.A. Dixon, what's good, fam? Worldwide artist said, Haney, the same thing. Well, listen. We talking about right now. What's going on right now? We ain't about to rewind. We talking about right here, right now. Right here, right now. He don't want no fight. He has no excuse. He continues to mock the community, to shit on the culture, And then when he get an opportunity to prove himself against somebody that you talk shit about for years, you find these little convenient reasons not to fight. If you support that, I don't know, we just different. But the dude got opportunity to prove himself and to actually be a takeover, which is a pretty cool name if he just embraced it the right way and be who he capable of being if he just focused more on the things that move him forward than the things that get in his way. That's his problem. Yeah. Well, you more confident than Tio, sir. You more confident than Tio. So why he ain't take the fight if he could beat him right here, right now? Why he ain't take the fight? He just said he was ready for him. Why he ain't take the fight? Why he ain't take the fight, smart guy? Why are you more confident than Tio than he is? If he knew for 100% he could win the fight, he would take the fight. He wouldn't be coming up with excuses not to take it. So again, it's cool for a fan. You ain't got to take the punches. So yeah, you're a lot more confident than Teofimo is. Did you just see the message? Let me get the message back up. Let me get the message back up real quick. And I would love for him to prove me wrong, y'all. I love for this to not be what it is. I love for this to be wrong. And Tio like, what? I never said that. I want the fight. Hey, the fight's happening. But nah, they said this to gently advise you that Teofimo has withdrawn from the fight. They out here gently advising people. We appreciate, we thank you for your efforts and your professionalism throughout the process. Basically, we appreciate your patience while he just wasted y'all damn time. We want to gently let you know that Teofimo has no interest currently in fighting the Devin the Dream Haney. Man, yo, this is crazy, yo. Nah, you gotta respect Haney. Say what you want. I ain't about to rewind the clock. We just strictly talking about the here and now is as good as time as any. And like I said, he said he ain't selling out for $11 million. I don't see how offering you a fight that you should have probably made some years ago, if we're being honest, how is that all of a sudden selling out? I'm not giving people this conspiracy excuse of all of a sudden, like you fought on this card the first time that wasn't selling out. So why would fighting Devin Haney be considered selling out? Why is that train of thought even attached to the situation? You got a fair shake in the first time you fought on one of his cards. I don't want to hear that shit. And it ain't have nothing to do with you fighting in Times Square. You got a fair shake because you won the fight. And that's all I'm saying. You should be able to take that same mentality that you took in the fight with Barboza, be all confident and go out there and beat Haney. As a matter of fact, you should be even more confident that you could beat Haney because you seen him go through it with Ryan. You see him not look all the way like himself, according to what you and your dad said. And why wouldn't you say, yeah, this is the time that I'm gonna beat his ass? You get what I'm saying? Y'all was arguing back and forth. You get what I'm saying? He told you he got his O. You could be the person to take his O. He said he still got his O. Do you? This is what I'm saying. You could be the guy to shut all that shit up. You go in there and you could be the one. Do you ask him? Do you still got your O? You get what I'm saying? It's a lot. It's a real story there. And nonetheless, it's a fight that probably should have happened a while ago. Freaking was good with it. Omar was good with it. Tio on that BS. You know what I'm saying? He out here withdrawing from fights. Sabotage the fight. And now people going to give him an out because he's trying to blame Turkey. He don't got no past experience where he could blame Turkey. The last time we seen him on the Turkey card or something that Turkey was invested in was Times Square. He got his fair shake. He got his unanimous decision, and he went on about his business. You get what I'm saying? I'm not buying all this selling out stuff. Nah, they're giving you the opportunity that you should have took. That's how I'm looking at it, man. That's how I'm looking at it. Do you got something better lined up? You get what I'm saying? Because you do got options, but is there something better for you? And that's a 50-50. Some would say 60-40 fight in Tio's favor, and you still didn't take it. I don't understand that guy. Paid him for it. What's good with it? I'm hearing the same thing, bro. I'm hearing the same thing about the Saudi Arabia thing. Because remember, he just said it. He just said in the interview that he's not selling out. You assume he's not going over there. He said just because you got the money or the financial something, basically just because you got money don't mean I'm fighting over there. That's what it sounded like he was saying. So now you're hearing today that he's saying it need to be at 140 in America, over here in the States. I'm not necessarily mad at that, but again, man, he strategically find ways to get out of fights. And people are going to give him the out because they're going to say, well, yeah, the fight should be in the States. I mean, y'all got history over here, and I do agree. But at the end of the day, if you get an opportunity to fight that dude for some more money than you ever made in your career, what's the excuse? Come on, man. All this betting on yourself stuff that people talk about, and you got an opportunity, and you like, nah, Blaze, what it do? K. Causey, what's good with it? Yeah, man. I think he about to be done with himself, bro. He about to, you know what I'm saying? He about to cook himself. Shout out to Paid in Full. He gonna cook himself, bro, when it's all said and done, man. Reef, what's good with it? Yeah, it's the Team Malifu. Hey, no mas. He don't want nothing, man. He don't want no problem. He don't want no problems. Bill and them was on their ass. They pressed his ass right after that fight, man. They ain't saying, let me get another tune-up fight. Let me get another shake-back fight. They abandoned the Ryan Garcia situation with the thoughts of getting Tio in there and still didn't get him in the ring, bro. Crazy, nasty work when you think about it, bro. Crazy. That man told you he still got his O. Do you? You got an opportunity to take that shit from him. Why wouldn't you want to do it? Said they always calling your daddy drunk, right? That's an opportunity to shut all that up. And you don't want to do it, man. I'm gonna keep saying he ain't got no reason not to fight this man. But it's okay. He won't fight him. It's a lot of people he probably won't fight. He ain't willing to fight Haney. It's a lot of people that he ain't gonna fight. He ain't gonna be willing to fight. Cause he ain't willing to fight Haney. Like I said, y'all, just please. I hope he never mentioned Jerron in his name again in his life and his career, bro. Don't ever do it again. You picking and choosing, and I can't respect that. Can't respect it, yo. I can't. Million piece classic short clip. Say Tang has a reason. Pay-per-view got PBC on his back. Lopez is officially blackballed. He about to blackball himself. Nah, I mean, just think about it. Worldwide Arts, man. You gotta think, because I know what you're talking about. The way he handled the Ryan loss. Think about it. He got cheated, bro. He got cheated. I'm not advocating for a lawsuit, but a lot of that, I know it had battery listed and that people was just sold, but it had other things listed in that. If you heard a lot of what they were speaking, that shit was centered around money, and it was Bill Haney that was pushing that. He even came out and took accountability for that. That was him, the one pushing it and putting that bug in Devin ear because he on his team. That's advice that he took from his team or his dad, so to speak, right? So I know that looked in bad taste, but just think about it. He ended up getting shitted on more than the guy that did the cheating. And it don't make a lot of sense. Yeah, you could say, that looked a little suspect. You should have left the lawsuit out of it. Cool. But at the end of the day, that shit got put to the side with the hopes that he was going to get the fight. Ryan said, what? Drop the lawsuit, we could fight. What happened? The lawsuit went away. You get what I'm saying? So we got to remember, like, I know initially you like, damn, he's suing. But he didn't sue shit, though. And Ryan was countersuing. And all that shit, they dropped that shit just with an effort to try to get back to a rematch with each other. And look who fumbled. You get what I'm saying? Look who fumbled the bag. It wasn't Devin. So you get me. So that shit was about money, bro. That shit was about money. Not that, I got beat up and I can't take a loss. It wasn't that. You know what I'm saying? Anybody pushing that, they just being weird, man. They know it wasn't about that. It wasn't, man. That shit was about money. Think about what he was going through with the Sandor Martin fight. Nobody wanting to bid on it. Shit like that, man. You feel like, man, this is because of Ryan, man. I'm telling you. Then he ain't end up vacating his title. I'm telling you, man, that shit was all bad, man. That shit was like downhill to do business with him. Shout out to Box Hacker. What'd he say? Tio knows he ain't beating Black Jesus, Devin Haney. See? You know, people still believe in young Devo. Look, I'm going to say this. I don't believe that guys are scared, but I when it comes to that particular matchup, I just feel like Tio, his confidence is not the way it is against other guys, right? Like it's something that makes him hesitate when it comes to Devin. And I ain't trying to hear no bunch of conspiracies, bro. You better than that man, beat that man. You know what I'm saying? And there's no time like the present. You know what I mean? To do this shit now.
And we ain't never got a box again. Well,
right.
well. I already been getting these back, but
that's
now it's time for you to
yeah.
get your just due.
Shout out to Hannibal. What's good with it, bro? Saying nobody talking about Rolly learning some new boxing techniques. Well, that's always possible. We got Ishmael Salas, man. Maybe Ishmael Salas starting to have an effect on the way Rolly approach fights, you know. But yeah, they saying he withdrew from the fight and he making some new demands. And like I said, I think he moving in a way that's not going to get him results, and he know it. And it's just going to be another creative way not to make a fight that should have been happening. So whatever, man. Whatever, y'all. Whatever, man. He don't want no smoke. We can't want it for him, right? He gotta want that smoke on his own. Jesse sparred Devin and Devin whipped his ass. Did he? I don't know what it is, but I just don't think. Yeah, it was long overdue, bro. Long overdue. With the arguments they had, all of just the back and forth through the years. There's just no reason for it. You know what I'm saying? No reason for it. It should have been happened. But it is what it is. Now, I guess we got to move on to the next thing. You got to see what's next. But it definitely ain't this. And like I said, y'all know people shitting on the Devin Haney performance, but if T.O. can't beat that version of Devin Haney and be confident that he can beat that guy, then we probably never see that fight. He probably never see it. And like I said, I'm going to just give credit where it's due. Devin Haney wanted that fight just like I believed he always did. And the same guy that seemed like didn't want it before, don't want it again. Ashley's corner, peace to my cousin, and happy belated birthday as well to my cousin. Appreciate you stopping through. Good to see you in the building. So calling Devin Haney Black Jesus. Just disrespectful to Michael Jordan. Yeah, man. Yeah. We got some good fights coming up this weekend. We're gonna get into that. We're gonna get into some of that in a second too. Shakur number 2 on the list. Yeah, I just want to see the fights, man. I don't think he got a better option than Devin Haney. I thought that was it would have been a really smart move for him to capitalize off the Barboza win and go right into a Devin Haney fight and prove that you're better than him, a guy that was sort of like your rival, right? You get what I'm saying? That would have been, I think, really establishing himself and solidifying himself even more, separating himself from the pack with a win over him. You can say what you want, but the guy that officially beats him in the ring is going to get a lot of credit for it. I don't care what people saying. Ryan, we could stop talking about 420. That dude cheated. End of story. He cheated and it didn't count. Yeah, the punishment counted, but the win didn't, right? So at the end of the day, that man still got an O, you know what I mean, in the loss column. And the first person that's able to defeat him officially in the boxing ring without no tainted, no drugs attached to it is going to get a lot of respect. I'm telling you. And they're going to want that respect. And you would think that guy would be T.O. You would think it would be him. Come on, man. Think about it. Devin Haney beat Kambosos twice. He beat the guy that gave you your only loss. And now for you to turn around some years later and give him his only loss, give him his first loss, where's the motivation at, T.O.? He kicked the guy ass that fought you. Yeah, the dude that dropped you in the first round that had you talking about your esophagus was missing. You had too much air in your chest, all this wild stuff. Yeah, that dude. That guy, he beat his ass twice in his hometown in Australia. I know you remember. He beat his ass. That dude. Yeah, you could then be the guy to go in there and beat him. Yeah, you might can't get the Kambosos rematch, but you can go out and fight the guy that's much better than Kambosos. You get what I'm saying? Man, damn, bragging rights, money, like separation, legacy. Come on, man. That'll be a great name on your resume. Let's not stop acting like it ain't. I don't care if people don't like Haney. I don't dislike him. That'll be a great name on T.O.'s resume. That should have probably, Loma was a good win, but shit, beating Devin Haney while he's undefeated. And Devin beat Loma too. Yeah, you did it, but Devin beat him too. And for you to not want this guy, y'all got common opponents and everything. And one of the common opponents you got beat up by. Come on, man. How you don't want to fight that dude? Damn, bro. What your team talking about? They bozos, bro. How y'all don't want the Haneys? How y'all don't want to take the dream versus the takeover, man? We supposed to be getting that this year, bro. I don't care what nobody say. That should be the next fight. Shout out to Devin Haney for wanting to smoke with this kid, man. Boxing hacker. Shotty said they sparred before until no, he can't win. Did they? They really sparred before? I'm being serious. I don't think I ever heard of it. I don't.
and we ain't never got to box again. Well,
Right.
well. I already been getting these bets, but now it's time for you to get your just due.
Right, Mr. Tough Guy. He done backed out boxing mom. He don't want no smoke. He don't want to fight. He don't want to fight. They let me find out that same shit that they talked about, that same style that they claimed wasn't right and it was bad. Y'all not confident y'all can beat that guy, huh? Y'all think y'all gonna get robbed on the cards? What, they gonna dupe you out there in Saudi? Why they gonna do that, huh? You know what I'm saying? Come on, bro. Stop digging yourself holes. Then maybe you won't have no reason to feel like they're gonna rob you. You know what I'm saying? You put yourself in that situation, being disrespectful, bro. You know what I'm saying? You be lucky if they don't set you up. Talking crazy. High and low. Shout out to you, fam. The channel where boxing never ended. My God, appreciate the support as always, homie.
And we ain't never got to box again. Well. I already been getting these bets, but now it's time for you to get your just due.
Shout out to High and low. Appreciate you, bro. Like I said, man, you got real reasons to want to smoke with that kid, and it's sad that you don't. That's all I'm saying. It's sad that you don't. It's rather disappointing too. Fresh, what it do, fam? Doug Sandor dropped his WBC strap. I don't think Devin ducked Sandor Martin. If you look at it, what was his issue? The issue was money. That was almost a public thing, right? You know what I mean? It was very clear that he was looking for certain money and he wasn't going to be able to get it. And then the fact that people were unwilling to really bid on that fight, he felt like that was a result of what happened with Ryan. So that also, I think, influenced and encouraged his father to then pursue that lawsuit that ended up getting dropped in the effort for them to fight again. So I don't think he was ducking Sandor Martin, because I don't think Sandor Martin would have beat Devin Haney, in my opinion. I think Devin Haney's a better boxer than him. He had beat him. I thought he would have outboxed Sandor, but I think he could have took that fight and just avoided dealing with Ryan altogether, seeing as how everything played out. But, you know, it's water under the bridge now. But the kid ain't no duck, though. You know what I'm saying? Anybody that's willing to get back in there with a dude that cheated him, you get what I'm saying? Says a lot. And the fact that Ryan's the one that fumbled. So Devin Haney then moved on to a guy in Teofimo that's coming off what? A damn good performance, right? And his only loss is the Kambosos. And then look, you get what I'm saying? So I got a lot of respect for Youngin, man. I think he be really wanting smoke, but a lot of times he just don't get credit for it. Kim Sims, Evans Rodriguez, Matias, Keyshawn, Devin, and who else? He don't want none of them. None of them, bro. It's crazy. It's crazy. So just plus Loma had an injury when he fought T.O. Yap. Devin fought a better Loma. He damn sure fought a Loma that was fighting the whole time. He damn sure ain't wait till the 7th round and start throwing double-digit punches. That's what I think. You get what I'm saying? Shout out to Mr. Impride, man. All those people testing positive, it looks sketchy for Eddie Reynoso. I think just like with any other situation, right? When it's all coming from a certain camp, you know, when that camp is, you know, number of fighters, I think 4 to 5 fighters, you got to look at them and be like, yo, what's going on over there? Or like, what's happening where guys are working with Reynoso and popping dirty. So I kind of agree with Oscar when he say you might want to ask the trainer, like, what's going on? Like, what's happening? All these fighters. So because they're sparring. Yeah, that's crazy. I ain't realize they sparred though. In person, the cigar ran down. And that's what I'm saying. Worldwide Arts, T.O. is a buster. I mean, he about to fake call out of diamonds. Yeah, man. I'm at a loss for words with this dude, man. I don't think he's gonna give us the fight you want next for sure. You know what I mean? And like I said, Barboza was a bit of a pass. I give him a pass on that one, but he right back to his old tricks, being Diva Tio. He being Diva Tio. And when he doing that, you could expect bullshit. And that's what we gonna get. So that's his career. He gonna have to live with it. But like I said, y'all, just so everybody is on the same page, this is directly from Bill Haney. He posted this message which said that Teofimo withdrew from the fight. And then I had some little information that he had some different demands. And one of them was even fighting his back at 140 again. And that to me is stupid. So I don't know exactly what they on, but just don't make sense. Nope. Nope. Yeah, and even Barrios would give him some trouble because remember Cuzzo, how when he fought Nakatani, how he complained about the height and never wanting to fight bigger guys, tall guys again. Barrios 6 foot, you know what I'm saying? Got some good reach. He'd give him some problems, especially early, I think, with some because Barrios threw them punches straight down the pipe too. Got a good jab, strong jab. I think he can get Teal some trouble. But I ain't saying it beat him, but I think it'd be interesting though, because I don't think Teal would be able to hurt him like a real 47-pounder could. Fresh Baker, what it do, homie? Yeah, man, it's tough, man. Troy Isley still calling out of diamonds. Did anyone see that? Yeah, I seen it, Z. I seen it. Von D was good with it. Yeah, that's what I say, man. That's what I say. Them damn Lopez's, man. They got all this criticism and heat and this smoke for the guy, but they won't fight him. None of that smoke is saying, yeah, let's fight. You get what I'm saying? So it's artificial smoke. That shit ain't even real. Shit ain't even real. I'm tired of this dude. I ain't gonna lie, bro. So I'm gonna lay off him unless I got a reason to go back in on him. But I think it is what it is with him. I think he gonna find himself being on the sidelines. He better hope he don't get shelved. With him, it seemed like he keep trying to. I don't know. He moving real different for a guy that's still on Top Rank, man. He moving like a guy that want to get shelved or like cut or something. But like I said, I think he was actively trying to get somebody to buy him out his contract. So he all over the place, man. I think he fucking things up, man. Big time. Let's talk fashion. What it do, Remo? How you feeling, bro? Turned into political figures to hate on Turkey. You stupid. Say, yeah, they spar. Yeah, I didn't know that, though. I didn't know that. Raw. Nah, Haney don't suck, bro. Haney don't suck. Haney just got cheated by Ryan Garcia, and we got to see if that man going to bounce all the way back to himself. He had one fight so far. He did win that fight. He's seen better performances for sure from him, but we just got to see. I definitely don't think Haney sucked. I think Haney is one of the most skilled fighters in the sport. For better or for worse, it just is what it is. He accomplished a lot at a very early age, and he continues to call for the smoke. Like even after getting drugged by Ryan, getting cheated by Ryan, and pushing a lawsuit, which his dad was doing. They dropped that shit, and they was willing to fight that dude again till Ryan messed it up, kind of killed the momentum of the rematch. And then what did he do? He pointed his attention to Teofimo, who's coming off the best performance on the card, right? You got to really respect that. And you can't say it's bluff and smoke and mirrors because there's a real opportunity for Teo. All he had to do was sign a contract. You get what I'm saying? You know what I mean? And fight the man. Say yeah to the fight and actually fight him. That's all. Devin Haney's a damn good fighter, bro. I know people don't like his style per se. You feel like it ain't the most entertaining, but dude can fight. Stick to a game plan. He's smart and he work hard as hell. You know what I'm saying? I think the fights, obviously, after dealing with Ryan Garcia, are gonna get tougher for him, right? But this is what he in it for. As long as he ain't quitting on himself, I ain't gonna quit on him as a fight fan. I don't got no reason not to like him. He always did it the right way. You got some things that you could question, but that's with any fighter, right? Overall, I respect his message. He work hard. He put the work in. And he come from a good background, right? But he don't take shit for granted. He work hard. So I'm always respect that and root for him. You know what I'm saying? Win, lose, or draw, I still support him unless he do something that puts me in a position where you don't want to watch him. Losing to Ryan Garcia or getting cheated to Ryan Garcia is not enough for me. A lawsuit that ain't got nothing to do with me ain't enough for me not to like the dude, right? It's not that serious. He can fight, you know what I mean? Or he can box, should I say. I don't want nobody to come from me. He can box his ass off, man. Just got to get back to what he do. And he was a guy known to take some chances, right? And if he can get in his bag, he can win some fights. It ain't over for him, man. He got to get past it mentally. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to High and Low, man. He said August is already coming to destroy the dreams, right? You ain't even get there yet, and they messing it up, man. But like I said, y'all, I think good fight for boxing. You know what I mean? A little later than what it could have been. One fight. One unnecessary fight too many before it happened, but I think it was still at a good time. You get what I'm saying? Undefeated Haney, trust me, believe he would have wanted to beat Teofimo Lopez. He wouldn't have wanted to lead that ring without winning. You know what I mean? However he had to do it, I think he would have tried to do it. And it would have been interesting to see if Teofimo had what it take to beat this dude. I really think I like the matchup. I really do.
And we ain't never got to box again. Well,
Right.
well. I already been getting these back, but now it's time for you to get your just do.
Bro, appreciate that support. He said he sucks. He run. Nah, he don't run. It's not about exciting me, man. Like, I'm not one of those fight fans, bro. I love exciting fights. I love action, but I appreciate good boxing too. You get what I'm saying? Now, you ain't jumping out the edge of your seat when he fighting, but that's okay. He is who he is. As long as you can win being who you are, like, you can only be who you are. And that, like, if that's all I could expect from you. I can't expect him to be a power puncher, a knockout guy, be super entertaining. So you got to look at the things he do well, highlight him for what it is, and appreciate that. He got really good footwork, got solid defense. He good defensively, right? Strong jab. Only Ryan was able to exploit that. You know what I mean? He's very successful with that jab. Good right hand, go to the body well. Fundamentally sound. He do some things. He makes some mistakes, but so does every fighter, right? But nah, I'm not bored by Devin Haney. Like, he even has some performance that's just like, but it is what it is. He win. That dude know how to win. NPR was good with it. Talib, what it do, homie? Till be a fool to go to Saudi after what he said about Turkey. I mean, yeah, but you know what? He got himself to blame for that. Like, you just fought on a man's car. Why stab him in the back after he just gave you an opportunity? You get what I'm saying? Why do that? Thomas Hill, my guy. Jay Grant, what it do, man? I still think they should fight. I still think Caleb and Charlo should fight. That's what I think. Despite the loss, man, we got to on to the next, bro. If he don't want to run it back with Resendez, I think he should entertain the Charlo fight. All things, what it do is people that feel like Charlo ain't all the way back, right? He still got some kinks and things to work out, right? He looked like he can be even better shape than what he was. So, nah, you know, I still watch that fight. You know what I'm saying? I still watch it. Shout out to Ruby. Let's keep building though. But on to the next, man. No takeover versus the dream, bro. No takeover versus the dream. He said, better not go over there to Saudi. Yeah, I mean, he put himself in a interesting situation. You get what I'm saying? But it's like, you know what it makes me think though? Because at the end of the day, right, if it's Turkey putting on the fight, would it matter if he's in Saudi or in the States? If he looking to screw him over, I'm pretty sure he could find a way to do it. If that's really what he on, right? I mean, that's how I look at it. But I also listen to the things that Tio said, and he talks with so much confidence to try to pull the I'm not going to get a fair shake card all of a sudden. And it's too convenient. The timing, I was like, what? You don't never really hear him say this type of shit. Like, he waited till he lost to Kambosos and blamed Eddie Hearn. But Eddie Hearn and them was the best ever before that happened. I remember this shit. It was crazy. So it's like, that's the kind of guy he is. So now you just looking for somebody to blame as to why you don't take the fight. You get me? I get it. I would be concerned going to Saudi after calling the man a dictator too, for no reason at all. I would feel like, yeah, man. You get me? I would feel like it might could happen because it might could, but I would be feeling like that too. But at the end of the day, it's a situation that he put himself in. And he has to realize that, like, right? Like, what do you do about that? Do you not take that opportunity at all? And what do you have? Do you have something better? So that's all. Like, I get it. I get why he would feel that way, though. But he definitely dug himself a hole. Ethiopian in prison for criticizing him on Twitter. That's crazy. That's why I read about that, man. Somebody sent me that link. Aisha, about that. That's crazy. That's a wild ass story. Glad he didn't wait till fight week to pull out. Yeah, that would have really pissed me off. But yeah, man, Tio, I just, like I said, just don't want what he say he want. I think, you know what I mean? And I guess he only want the fight if it's under his terms, and I don't think the fight is gonna be made under them circumstances, right? You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I would be worried too. Called the man a dictator, and now you got to fight on this card. Yeah, Turtle versus Top Boy, which is worse? I think dictator, because Tile Boy, I see they was trying to blow that out of proportion. But you know, when somebody say Tile Boy, like in sports, right? That's considered like the help. Tile Boy is the help. right? They was making it seem like he was talking about the turbans that they wear. And I know it wasn't that. You know what I mean? That's simple. Like I was saying people try to take that angle, but Tower Boy is simply like, yo, he sent the help. Couldn't even do it himself, right? That's what that is. But I did see some people running with it. But yeah, man, take your ass to Saudi and fight, bro. If you don't have a better option. And bet on yourself, right? We say that about every other fighter. We can't say that to Tio. Tell his ass to bet on himself. You get me? Bet on yourself, Tio. Right? You bad, right? You can fight, right? You nice, right? You get me? You can fight. So again, man, the saga continues though, but no Team Elite Food versus Devin Haney. None of that. We won't be getting that. Yeah, it was a different angle, Sunchild. Yeah, he definitely wasn't saying what they was thinking he was saying. He was calling it pretty much to help. Like, you get what I'm saying? Flunkies, however you want to call it. You know what I mean? It was a diss, but not the kind of diss that they was making it. And getting blamed for this is what, as we speak, probably, but they can't blame him, man. This dude, after having a performance that people don't speak too highly of, that they don't write home about, he still wanted to fight that dude. So I like it. I like it, man. But we're going to keep cooking, though. We're going to keep building. So, like, we all know what it is with Tio. Until I hear something else, I'll give you another update. But it seemed like he don't want that smoke with the dream. Cecil, what it do? So he ain't as confident as what his mouth might indicate. Yeah, absolutely facts. But let's talk about the ghost, man. See, you know, I like these nicknames. The Dream, the Takeover, the Ghost. Frank the Ghost Martin, man. Frank the Ghost Martin did an interview on Fight Hype with I think it's Ron Goodall, and he was talking about some things in there. I think he spoke about the his split with Derrick James or something to that effect. So we're gonna talk about that. But he also spoke briefly in a video about Keyshawn and De Los Santos fight, and he was saying that not only would he beat Keyshawn, but he said he think he ain't gonna get past De Los Santos. I ain't gonna surprise. Yeah, it's disappointing. Because he keep having these layups. Not saying Devin Haney, as far as fighting him, is a layup, but these situations that seem perfect for the taking. And again, I don't have all the details, but I'm tired of the excuses every time. And I ain't gonna say every time, but when it's time to fight specific individuals, he find a way out. You know what I'm saying? You see, did he tweet? He was tripping. Nah, I ain't see. Oh man, he was tripping with that too. The all Diddy. He wow, bro. He don't got no sense, man. He don't got no sense, man. I didn't catch it either. He's that's something that I think they've been dealing with for a while, bro. Inactivity. But let's get to Frank. Frank is he said a fight day coming soon, and he definitely gonna be at 140. So I'm ready to see Frank the Ghost Martin back. Like, I hate the fact that he had this much time off after the loss to Tank, but if he said a fight day coming soon, I guess that's good news for him. But let's hear what he had.
He said say. Frank beats Keyshawn. Hell yeah.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie. I don't think he's gonna beat De Los Santos. I don't think he's gonna beat De Los Santos. If he do, I'm gonna give him his flowers. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think he's gonna beat that.
You see what he said right there, and I'm gonna get to the interview too. He feels, Keyshawn is fight week, so everybody being asked about their thoughts on him fighting De Los Santos, and I've been hearing a lot of different things. And I ain't surprised at what he said. People give De Los Santos a lot of respect, right? As a dangerous guy, a live dog, somebody that could really upset the natural order of things, right? And dethrone the Keyshawn. But I think he gonna handle his business this weekend. That's me personally. We'll see how much De Los Santos learned since the Shakur fight and what he's able to apply against a guy like Keyshawn with the skill set that he has, right? We're going to find out what De Los Santos is made of coming off, an 18-month layoff or something to that effect. So, I mean, he's a young guy, so I don't feel like the inactivity going to be a death sentence. But, Keshon Davis is surging right now. I think he building, rolling right now, a lot of momentum on his side. He putting these performances together consistently, and he looking real good doing it. And it seems like the bigger the challenge thus far, the better he performs. And that's what you're seeing. You've seen it with Lemos. Dude came in all types of overweight and looking crazy. He still said let the fight go on and beat his ass. Went there against Baranchik, who just dethroned and beat Navarrete and he beat his ass, stopped him in 3 rounds or something like that. So I don't know, he looking good. And right now you got Edwin De Los Santos, and let's see what you can do with him. He's coming off a layoff, but he is coming to win. He's gonna be motivated. This is a big opportunity for him, and he might not get another one with the wrong kind of loss. So we're gonna see. Shout out to Albert. Frank needs to mind his business, get back in the gym. Twin was good. Give me a reason why he thinks De Los Santos beat Keyshawn. He said for some reason he feel like he don't get by him, but if he do, he gonna give him his flowers. But like I said, for me, for him to beat Keyshawn, he gonna have to land like a shot. He gonna have to catch him with something he don't see, catch him with a shot, hurt him, stop him, or something like that. I don't think he's gonna outbox him, right? And it's a lot of different. Shout out to Albert. There's a lot of different little takes on this fight, right? Like, what's the take? Let me go to this real quick. We're gonna pull up Frank Martin interview where he was doing some talking about his current situation and what's next. So you got some people that look, man, listen to this. Shout out to Marco Boxing, man.
And I'm curious how Keyshawn's going to respond to the patience. Is he going to respond with patience like Shakur did and make it a little bit lackluster, or is he going to attack?
He locked in, too. It's different, bro. It's different. You can see that they believe in him based off of what he's doing, what he's done as a professional, how fast they've moved him. Think about his opposition and Shakur's opposition. Shakur fought for a vacant title, his first title shot. Keyshawn beat a champion.
Give me Shakur's 135 run. You got Yoshino, you got De Los Santos, Artem, Hadley. Is that it? That's what he's had at 135 so far? Now he has William Zepeda. And then Keyshawn's about to have De Los Santos. He had Baranchek, Gustavo.
Ooh. And I'm curious how Keyshawn's
nice. He do got a good lineup, but I think the way they moved him is very similar if you really do the homework and look past one name or two. Right, that's just the luck of the draw. He fought for the vacant title because it was his chance to fight for a title. When it was his opportunity, he also fought in a unification bout and took the belt from a current champion as well. So that was ranked highly at the time. So we could do this shit all day, picking one win off a guy's resume to kind of try to make a case. But at the end of the day, both of those guys is doing everything they're supposed to do with their opportunities. They ain't lost yet or came even remotely close to doing so. I think that Keshon Davis, they do believe in him. And why wouldn't they? They should. He worked hard as hell. He's made some mistakes. He's corrected it. He's showing all the promise that you would want to show as a young champion. So I like how they moving him, and I hope he completely shine this weekend. I don't care if people feel like he better than Shakur because he beat. I don't give a damn. I want to see him do his thing. Go out there. Care how bad he beat him up. Beat him up. Want to see him go back to his people, of course, but I want to see him shine. I want to see just how good he could be. And I think he could make an example out of De Los Santos. I expect him to be 100%. How he says, same thing with De Los Santos. We all know what Shakur issues was. We don't got to rehash it. But this is going to be a different fight simply because they different fighters, different styles. And you got a guy that's 100% coming into this fight, building some real momentum, and he got a mean streak. Keyshawn want to hurt you. We want to. He's smart defensively, but he's not considered safety first like they look at Shakur, right? But that's no knock. When you as smart as Shakur is, I can understand why he's safety first. The less you get hit, the longer you last. We know that. But Keyshawn, he'll get in the fire a bit, and Shakur do as well, but he naturally got that mean streak. He remind me of Bud Crawford to a degree, right? When he start mixing it up. So I like what Keyshawn is showing. I think De Los Santos will be another opportunity for him to showcase that and keep it moving. How tough the fight would be, I think it's all up to Keyshawn for real. Shout out to the boxing scholar. Appreciate you, bro. Jay Walk, what it do? So it's all up to him, but it's going to be a good fight, man. Edwin should shake the ring rust off relatively early, couple rounds or so. He should be able to do what he do. But how many chances will he take? I like what Marco asked. He asked, what he did with the patience of De Los Santos. That's the thing about Keyshawn. He's patient too. I don't think whatever game you want to play, I think he can do it. You get what I'm saying? But I want to see how this fight materialize after about 3 rounds or so, 3-4 rounds. I want to see how it start to look, man. I do think he's going to look to make a statement. He want to knock De Los Santos out. Santos said, I'm knocking him out. He said, if I hit him, if I put him down, I don't think he's going to be able to finish the fight. So Santos talking with a shit ton of confidence, man. And I love it. I love it. He said he levels below Shakur. He said, he got a lot of power, but when it comes to boxing, he's levels below Shakur. He said levels. This is what he said. So he's going to have to prove that and stand on that. I think it's going to be a different experience for him, but should be entertaining, man. And anybody that's motivated after a loss and they get another shot at a title, knowing that it didn't have to be this, you got to be motivated. You got to know what's at stake. You do not want to lose again. Back-to-back losses. And again, just as well as I was giving Devin Haney respect for calling out Tio after the Ryan shit, I'm going to give De Los Santos much respect because it ain't going to be too many people, fighters in general, in their careers, that's going to be able to say that they fought not only Shakur Stevenson, but Keshon Davis. And he did that shit back-to-back. So even if he go out here and get cooked and lose, he still got my respect because you got to appreciate a guy like that. You get what I'm saying? They got his money right, and he was all systems go, ready to fight. So I like guys wanting to fight dudes that want to fight back. De Los Santos want this opportunity just as well as Keyshawn want to prove to everybody that he belong, and his world champion run is going to continue, right? These dudes both want this shit. So I don't think no layoff is going to be no death sentence. That shit going to come down to the better man, better game plan, execution, who really wanted more, shit like that. Skills, paying the bills. That's what this fight going to be. I mean, I know people trying to find so many ways to tear it down, but it's kind of silly to do. You know what I'm saying? If you look at the landscape at 35, it get thin outside of the champions. De Los Santos is a guy that's considered to fight somebody of note, of substance, right? The Rio win opened a lot of people's eyes with him, right? And he went in there and survived with Shakur, right? He didn't do extremely well, but it didn't look how most Shakur fights look, right? So, there's that. So he got answers. He got questions to answer after that performance. People felt like he looked shitty. You know what I'm saying? So now what are you going to do, right? Is it going to be the layoffs and the injury excuse? Are you going to be a guy that had a fat camp or something like that and you ain't going to be prepared? Like what's going to be the case? Or is it just going to be one of those classic lightweight type of fights? We're going to find out. Doesn't pay to stink up the ring. Rocco, shout out to you, man. Nah, Devin just got to win how he win. You know what I mean? Sid, what it do? Coming off a 2-year layoff. Yeah, B. Hayes was good with it, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Y'all hit that like button. We're going to keep building, man. Adam was good, man. I'm done with T.O. Yeah, he a clout chaser, bro. He a clout chaser. And, I just cook him accordingly. I never tear him down as a fighter because he's still a real talented guy, but his personality needs some work. The things that he say out his mouth need a lot of work. So till he chill out, man, I'm kind of off him, you know what I mean, in terms of wanting to really check to see who he fighting. I think it would be the ring rust. Think it'd be the ring rust to get Edwin smoked. It could be, but I feel like him being young, right? He should be able to kind of manage a bit. Long as I think it's really important that he was able to recover from the things he was dealing with health-wise and actually have a full camp. I'm hoping he didn't have to have a fat camp because I could see that being problematic for him. A tough weight cut, I could see the fight being difficult. Any of those problems because he did pick up some weight, obviously, when he wasn't able to train and stuff like that. I had seen a picture of him or a video. He looked like he looked a little heavy, so as long as he ain't have to have a fat camp, I think early is where the ring rust could affect him the most. But I think he'll be able to, weather the storm pretty well early because I think it'll take a little second for the fight to get going. It'll take a few rounds. And by then, hopefully, he'll been kind of, got a bit, acclimated and ready to fight. Rob, what it do on me? I hope so. You know what I mean? I just want to see the best man win. You know what I mean? Shocking, folk. Yeah, we're gonna get to that too. So, but let's keep building. But look, good fight for me. Good to see Mason again. I think that's good. And the fight that could come out after this for Keyshawn, I think is important too. So it's all about getting the wins, man. He got another homecoming fight. He got an opportunity to show out in front of his people, and they really building over there. I think the last champion they had over there since Keyshawn was Sweet Pea. So he really doing some real good things over there in Norfolk in Virginia. You gotta respect it. They building them the right way. Your feet, Edwin ain't enough. Yeah. You know what, Adam? He fight Keyshawn fight differently. He got good feet though. Good feet, good timing, good balance. He makes smart decisions in there. He got good eyes. You get what I'm saying? Reflexes, all that stuff. He's a well-rounded, disciplined fighter to me. But I think he just fight different. I think he'll give Edwin more opportunities because of how he naturally fight. Like, he's not as much as a mover, and we all know why Shakur was moving as much as he did in that particular fight. So you could say he looked bad. I mean, it just was a bad night. You know what I mean? It was a bad night in the office, but he won. So that's all that matter at the end of the day. Get that win. You know what I mean? I say this, and I ain't gonna get into it too deep. Most fighters, when they had their worst night of their life, it's usually a loss, probably a knockout loss a lot of times. He had the worst night and still won. And you've seen performances since then, both, and it ain't look nothing close to that. He spent both of those fights right in the pocket. So it's like, I don't stay stuck on no one fight. He definitely won. You know what I mean? Think about it. If he looked bad winning, what did the guy do that lost? And he did even less. You get me? So Edwin got an opportunity to prove himself after this, man. I want to see how he's going to look. I do. But this time, I want to see if the ring rust is going to be a big issue, or is it just going to be a matter of, Keyshawn just being a better fighter than him and better than he anticipated? Because, again, he think he levels below Shakur. So that's very telling that he feels that way without even getting in the ring with him. I think he's going to be I think he's going to respect what kind of talent he in front of this weekend. I think he is, man. He might find himself being surprised that Keyshawn is as good as he think he is. Let's keep rolling, though, man. Hit the like button and let's keep building, y'all. You sure looking confident? Yeah, both of them. I love it.
If Tank's able to get past Roach, I mean, do you think Tank's going to get past Roach in the rematch? Because the first one was...
Hold on. This ain't what I was looking for, is it? Nah, hold on. We got to get back to that. That ain't what I meant to pull up. My bad, y'all. Sometimes a win is a loss. Yeah, I mean, look, I get what he's trying to say, but nah, a win is a damn win, especially if you injured, sick, and probably shouldn't have been in there. You know what I mean? You got multiple injuries, and like I said, being sick and having multiple opportunities to pull out, and you just say, look, I know I ain't gonna look my best, but I'm about to go out here and win. Just to be able to go out there and do that where you got a guy as dangerous as Edwin Santos is impressive to me. I don't know about to anybody else. That's impressive to me. Even to feel like you could still go out there and win. Most people wouldn't even fought him under them conditions. They wouldn't have dared got in there like that. And it definitely wouldn't have got hit no 40 times.
My guy.
You know what I'm saying? Getting hit 40 times in 12 rounds is like, that's very impressive. I don't give a damn what offense you didn't see. That shit is impressive. And you don't see too many people that's able to do it. You know what I mean? Very, very, very few, if any. But shout out to Ron Goodall from Fight Hype, man. He talked to Frank Martin. Frank Martin did say he got a fight date coming up. Like he said, he didn't think Keyshawn is going to get past Devin Santos. If he do, he's going to give him his flowers. But since he's been out of the ring, not only have you heard, Earl Spence and Derrick James split, they had some legal situation going on. Now you're hearing that Frank Martin and Derrick James also has split. So we're gonna listen to some of this, man. Yeah, he backed Edwin up too, man. If you really watch his fights, he fight in the pocket more times than not. Just look at the two fights after it. I know they'll make a ton of excuses for why they look that way, but he fought right in the pocket. You know what I mean?
All right, Ron Goodall, FightHype.com. I'm here with my guy, Frank the Ghost Martin, man. It seemed like, it's been just a little bit that you've been gone from the sport of boxing, and everybody's been wondering, are we gonna see?
Gonna say that. I've been gone for a decade. You had it.
I know you're a type of fighter that likes to fight 3 times a year, so I just had to catch up and just ask, man, what's life been right now? How's everything been going? And when the potential of seeing you come back.
I honestly just been chilling, man. I've been working in the meantime for a while. Even right after my fight, I had been in the gym, staying active and everything. So
Really, man, I just have been waiting on a call basically just to let me know when they get ready for a fight. I always try to stay ready, but I've been in the lab, man, just grinding, waiting on that call. We got something real soon. You know, I can't put a date on it just yet, but in my head right now, and from the people I spoke with, we're gonna have something real soon.
Yeah, and that's what I like to hear, man. He do need to get back in there since seeing him with Tank. You know, he did well early. Tank turned it on how he usually do, and the rest was history, man. That was an entertaining fight for as long as it lasted. I really enjoyed that fight and performance from both guys, even with him in the loss. I immediately said, you know, that Tank just did what he did, you know, and impressive the way he set that knockout up. But that immediately made me want to see Frank Martin more. And I'm glad that he is going up to 140 instead of sticking around and complaining about tough weight cuts and not feeling good or being drained at the weight. I don't want to hear that shit, even though he said that was part of the reason why he wasn't himself because of the weight. But, you know, I'm glad he chose to go up and not stick around too long after that. I don't know, man. You had the top rank exec, Rocco. Carl Moretti came out and exposed all the injuries and everything that was wrong with him. So I don't know why people so stuck on that. I don't know why it's so hard for people to accept the fact that fighters be hurt. I don't get it. It's one fight. That's one fight. You look at the rest of them. None of them other fights look like that. You don't need excuses. Just look at the fights. And RIP to Jose Santa Cruz, for real, man. That shocked me seeing that. And RIP to Mike McCallum as well, man. We lost a couple of them. Look like that character from the PJs. You stupid. Let's get back to this. Let's keep building.
Sometimes the boxing politics, right, gets kind of
That's what it is. That's what it is.
So in
Shit,
this
if I
case,
could fight 3 times a year, man, I'll be back to back. Keep me busy. Shit, you know, I don't want to, you know what I'm saying, just be sitting and being inactive, you know, like shit, keep me busy, you know.
They'd love to see you active
and
too,
I'm going to be
Frank.
ready every
Frank a
time it's
man-up
time to
fighter.
fight.
I'm sure you've seen, you know, and you take this in good faith, right? Because, you know, you seem like a guy, you know, that takes humor really well. But, you know, I think Twitter, some people's been putting you on like a milk box and certain things. Like when you see those type of things, does it motivate you or you're just kind of like, you know?
It's both, you know what I'm saying? It motivate me. And then, too, it's just like a lot of times people don't know what's going on, you know. And then, you know, me, I'm quiet. I ain't really too much like, I ain't that internet guy like everybody want me to be. You know, shit, I'm me, man. You got to be around me to see what's going on. But
You know what, real quick, I don't have a problem with that because I don't expect him to come out and be an internet guy. But I think what he might not realize fully is fight fans that really rock with you, when they don't see you in a while, they understand it be politics and shit like that sometimes, but people just be wanting to know, you know, an ideal or what's going on. It's just natural to assume, like, you ain't seen him in a while. As soon as he lose now, it's a long ass layoff or inactivity. It's like, dang. And we hate to see that because he on that side of things where one of their problems has been inactivity for their fighters. So I don't want Frank Martin to ever go outside himself and turn into an internet guy. I appreciate the energy he brings, but he just like Boots. They're very quiet, but they get busy in the ring. But you just wouldn't mind hearing an interview or two from him or hearing a statement or two just to know, you know, look, we putting in work. We just waiting on the date. Sometimes that's all fans need to hear is you just waiting on the date. It's like he put fight day coming soon.
it don't
Pretty
bother
sure
me. It's just
people
like
cool
y'all
with
don't
that.
even know what's going on, you know. So it pissed me off more than anything, you know, when people saying stuff. It's just like y'all don't even know shit. Like a lot of people think it's me just trying to be inactive and not trying to be busy, but you know that ain't even the
Sports
case.
was good, bro.
Yeah, you know,
And that's foolish to think that fighters want to be inactive. They get paid to fight. And a lot of them, this is what they do. This is their job. So this their livelihood. Now, you know what I'm saying? It's how they eat. It's how they feed the fam. So anytime these guys outside the ring for extended period of times, that's not ideal. That's not something they looking to do. So people that was doing that with Frank Martin are being, you know, silly ass fans, bro. You think he want to be inactive after having the biggest opportunity? Nah, he want to keep it going. Look what he said. If he could, he want 3 fights a year. Keep him active. He don't want to be on the sideline.
I know it's an easy narrative, right? That people think you had your biggest fight, you know, pay-per-view, things like that. And, you know, you made a good amount of money, you know, in that one particular fight. And it's like, all right, cool. You know, like that's it. And that's not the case. You've been calling, reaching out.
If I could, why stop with one fight? You know, why not keep running it up? You know what I'm saying? Why not, like, who wouldn't just sit back and just be chilling? Hell no, I'm trying to run it up. You know what I'm saying? Let's get it. I'm trying to keep it going. And then too, you know, just the inactivity as far as a fighter, that don't really, that ain't in my favor, not being active. You know, I want to be active. I'm 30. These next couple years, you know, I want to be active
Listen to what he's
like
saying.
as active as I can be. I want to be active.
Exactly.
You know,
so there you go. All them fans that been asking where he been, there go the questions. A lot of times, fans ask questions and don't listen to the answers. Well, he told you if you wanted to know where he been, he's saying his politics, and he just been waiting on a date. He been putting in work since his last fight, since the Tank Davis loss. He been putting in work. You know, every time you see Frank, he look like he in shape. You know what I mean? He always cut up and in shape. So these dudes don't be wanting to sit on the sideline and not make money and be inactive. You get what I'm saying? Old school. What it do, homie? Keyshawn was gonna make it huge. I think so too, Greg.
Told everyone that you're no longer fighting at 135 and you moving up to 140. So in specific details, just like, what is the reason? Is it the fact that you felt like 135 was pushing your body too much, or do you just feel like you were able to be able to compete, with certain guys and create great fights at 140?
Man, honestly, the last fight, even the fight before that, before the last fight,
weight cut.
I lost, the weight cut, and then just I'm getting bigger. I got a lot of muscle. Everybody know that. Just naturally, like without lifting weights and all that stuff. I'm just naturally my physique just a strong stature. So I just feel like my last two weight cuts was real tough on me. My last fight, I got tired, probably like my legs after getting tired in probably like the 5th round, just from the weight cut and everything. So shit, I felt like my body shut down in that fight. So I was just like, I'm gonna just move up to 140 and go from there. When I was an amateur, I fought at 141. When I turned professional, I went down to 35 and I was gonna work my way back up. But I feel like I'm gonna just be more comfortable at 41 now. I'm trying to come across hell at 140.
I respect Frank. Look, he had a tough weight cut with the Artem fight. That was his toughest fight before he got in there with Tank. He squeaked by, dropped him late, got the win, right? Got up out of there. Win is a win. You got to get him how you can get him. But then he turned around in the biggest fight of his career and had another additional weight cut. But you would understand why he would stick around to make that weight again for that fight, right? So no harm, no foul. But right after that, he immediately said, you know what? I'm going up. And look, it drank, but to no fault of Tank Davis's though. That wasn't on Tank. It was no weight clause or nothing like that put on him. That was just on him. That was nothing Tank did, right? So I like the fact that he said, you know what, after that, I'm gonna just go up. You know what I'm saying? Look, that's one too many. That's the biggest fight you're gonna get there. Cool, I respect it. Go on up. And I just want to see how he's gonna look at 140. Hope he, rejuvenated and ready to go, because he makes some real good fights moving forward.
Whoever want it, what I'm saying? Come get it.
Yeah, I saw you put a tweet. It was something like, y'all gonna have a long day in hell if you think, you're gonna touch some fighters up at 140. I know that you want to fight all the top guys, right? And specifically the champions, right? Is there just kind of a fighter that appeals a little bit more than the other? Is there like there's Tio, there's Richardson Hitchens, there's Gary Antoine and Alberto Puello.
I ain't gonna lie, man. Anybody can get it. You know what I'm saying? I feel like AB. Anybody can get it. Shit. It could be Hitchens, man. It could be Rowley, Haney. It could be any of them big names. Ryan. That'd be a good one. If me and Ryan was to put something down, just because we got something in common. We both train with the same trainer, and shit, with us training with the same trainer and everything, I feel like it's a little story of, it'll be a little story
Don't
behind
forget
it.
about the Tank fight.
So that'll be a fight too that I would like. Regis, any of them guys.
How would that fight even go though? Like if you guys are with the same trainer, and I think he's at like 147 now. So like, how would that go?
I ain't sure. I ain't sure like far as the training side, but the weight size, we'll be able to do like a catch weight. I could do something. I go to like 144.
Okay.
I do a catch weight against some of the guys who like even Dev, like they done moved up to 147. I'll do a catchweight like 44. I ain't no small dude, so I could meet them wherever they want to meet at.
You know, I know there's also.
I like that. That's interesting. Look, he just threw his name in the hat. Frank's still on what he been on. I just want to see what the first fight gonna look like for him at 140 and who they gonna match him up with. You know, they probably gonna give him a welcome to the division kind of fight, so I don't expect nothing too crazy. But any fight at 40 should be interesting with this dude. He really can scrap. I like Frank.
Because people don't.
He mentioned Gary. He said Gary.
Kind of try to put pieces together. They see you over here, and he
didn't mention Gary. I mean,
around Buddy McGirt. But truth is, you're still with Derek James, and and there's no. All right, I've lost this one fight, and now I'm not with Derek James, right?
Yeah. So basically, behind that right there is not me and Derek, right? Like we aren't this next fight. We won't be training together. It's not because of me, of my loss or none of that. It's just everything on our end is in good faith. It's no bad blood on my end, no bad blood on his end. But I am going to be training with Buddy McGirt moving forward. I'm gonna be training with Buddy McGirt as my head, and a guy named Marcos from Dallas. Moving forward for this next fight. So I'm just, I'm working.
Okay.
And look, there you go. There go the answer. There go what people was asking about. But Frank a real one. Like, look, shit, you make changes. You take a loss. It's a number of reasons why you can make a change. But I think the most important thing is the fact that they on good terms. At least that's what he putting out. So that's where I'm gonna leave it at. I'm not about to go fishing and just it ain't working out. He lost and he fired him. I'm not doing all of that. He said they good. That's all I could go off until I see something else or hear something different. But it is what it is. You see this all the time. Guys take losses and they make changes, right? Whatever that means. But as long as they good, I mean, shit, ain't nothing you could do, but it is an interesting time though, because it's right, you figure you and Earl, Earl and Derek split, and him and Derek, not working together, at least for this fight. But that's the thing, it might not be no bad blood or no issues, but if you're working with them now, are you going to just bounce right back to Derek James? Like, you get what I'm saying? You're going to want to kind of sit still. So this could be his trainer moving forward. You know what I mean? So Buddy McGirt's an upgrade to Derek James. I hear you. He said, I wonder what that means. Yeah, man. No, then, yeah, he ain't there either. TM was good. What he said? 140 division gonna be stagnant in the future. Yeah. Mel is, I think, training. Shout out to Behind the Hands TV. He training with the same guy that I think Jamal Charlo trained with. I think his name is Big Sad Highland Williams. I believe Big Sad is his name. If I ain't getting it wrong, shout out to Behind the Hands. He let me know that. So I think soon as Maul got this fight over with this past weekend, Mel, he going into camp with the same trainer. So he ain't with Derek right now, from what I understand either. And I wonder if that is what kind of led to Derek taking a chance on Ryan again, other than the little clip that he seen from him. He said he felt like he was good, but it's interesting to see that neither one of them are working with him right now. Frank left, so Frank went with Earl. Shit, who knows?
Okay, so that's how the Ryan fight could happen. Buddy and Derek on the opposite ends then.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not sure if
unless Ryan changes his trainer.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on with that situation though.
Might still not be a thing, right?
Yeah, I'm not sure though.
So what made you what you think about Buddy McGirt then?
I like Buddy. I like Buddy, man. I like Buddy. Like his work is, it's precise. Honestly, I feel like him and Derek, I wouldn't say like the training is similar, but it's just like the knowledge and the expertise of them as trainers. Like those guys on a high level. You know, so me training with him, I'm looking forward to seeing how I'm gonna grow and just get better. You know, which I know I am. I'm gonna grow, get better. Come out, you know, this next fight. I feel like this next fight more important than anything, just because everybody want to see how I'm gonna come back. You know, see how I'm gonna bounce back, see how I'm gonna do. I'm coming back to cause hell. You know, so
I
when I
like
come
his
back, I
energy.
want to put on the best. I want to get the fans the best. You know what I'm saying? Frank Martin that they can get and they can see. So. You know, I feel like the collaboration with me and Buddy and then Marcos, I think is gonna be some artwork for sure.
And there you go. So I love his energy, man. He said he coming back to raise hell. I love it. I love it. New trainer and all that. Just forward progress, man. Good to know if he being genuine that there's no bad blood. You know, everything is good between them. But you know, I know he wasn't gonna get into why exactly he made the changes. But you know, who knows, man? It just makes me wonder how much Derrick James gonna stick around. Mike Brown, what it do on me? Better not get hurt. Training with Buddy McGirt said he'll throw the towel in quick. I will hope not. But he said he coming back to kick some ass. So let's see it. Let's see it.
Watch some of
Flank.
his classics, like Tarver
Oh yeah,
and Roy Jones and stuff. Like his, you know.
Okay. Yeah.
What do you think of him as a fighter as well? Not just a trainer that had those magical moments, but yeah.
Buddy could fight. You know, Buddy was slick. He was smooth. Like he was light on his feet. You know, Buddy was good. You know, Buddy was slick. I like Buddy's style.
You know, I guess this is me kind of trying to put things together, but Buddy fought a guy from Norfolk, Virginia, you know, Pernell Whitaker. And there was a fight that seemed like you two were like this close. Like literally you guys were this close in person. But you and Keyshawn, all right? Like, you know, it was a fight that even after the Ting fight, he was like, hey, respect to Frank. You know, he wasn't going on like a trash talk ring. It's like respect to him. He shows he's at this level. I'm trying to show him at this level. You know, let's make the fight. And obviously, Keyshawn was able to get a title. You know, you moved up to 140, but it seemed like it was a fight that was always going to happen at some point. And seeing now that
It's
more than it is at 35.
It's a fight that still, you know, it's still gonna happen. You know, everybody pushing for the fight. I'm not fighting at 135 no more. I know he probably ain't gonna be at 135 for too long either, but I ain't gonna stay at 135. So we can do something at 140. I'm with it. You know, I'm gonna go. I'm a green light. So I wish him the best in his next fight. You know, he get the dub and keep going. But I feel like De Los Santos a good fighter. I think he having some complications going on. People don't know about, but for the most part, man, he go and do what he's supposed to do against De Los Santos. Like I'm with it. You know, we can make something happen, but it'll have to be at 140. I'm not going back down to 135. You know, I know he the champion right now, but for me, if everybody want to see the fight happen, it got to be at 140 for me. You know, I want to be comfortable at the weight that I fight at.
That's fair. That's more than fair. That's realistic because he talked about moving up. You knew it was a possibility since his fight with Artem. So I'm no surprised to see Frank Martin talking about 140 and being there for his next fight. And like you said, Keyshawn probably won't be at 35 forever anyway. He's not a small lightweight per se, right? So yeah, I would like to see that fight still in the future. It'd still be a good fight between them two. I would like it. Yeah. Complications. I think he was talking about with the blood clots and stuff that De Los Santos was going through while he was out and stuff.
Yeah, and obviously at that point it would be a more electrifying fight where both fighters feel fresh, right?
Yeah, for sure. You know, and I think he will. You know, I think he'll come to 40. So I don't think that'll be a problem.
You know, with that kind of opportunity when you were able to fight for a world championship, you know, and it was able to fight what some people felt was, you know, the best champion at that particular time. What did you learn, like on a technical aspect, right? I know that you kind of discussed like your weight, you know, could have probably been more suited at 140.
To be honest, I ain't gonna lie to you. I be thinking about it. I ain't really think about my fight probably till like after the fight. But if we been honest, man, just if I would have won that fight, there's so much I probably would have learned. that I learned with taking that L. You know, I learned a lot more taking that L than even if I would have got a, you know what I'm saying, a win.
That's
From that
real.
fight, man, it's a lot. I learned a lot from just being in the ring, the all the distractions that was going on around me, the everything, you know, just being on that big stage, how people can try to put you in a certain situation. Like, man, I learned so much from the fight. So I'll never be on a stage that big again that I won't be ready or prepared for. You know, it was a lot of like outside of fighting the fight. There was a lot of shit in the background that was going on that, you know, that kind of played on my mental no matter what. Like I knew going into that fight, it was going to be a lot of stuff like that going on, but I was just blocking it out. You know, like mentally, I'm super strong. So everything that was going on, like I'm just knowing, like they're trying to fuck with me mentally. They're trying to do this, they're trying to do that. So I was just trying to keep that blocked out of my head. But, you know, in reality, it was still certain things fucking with me in my mind. But man, moving forward, it's a lot that I learned from that fight. So the stage, the magnitude, it would never be that big again. As far as like fighting another fighter, I feel like I feel like at that stage, you know, I got to experience it, and moving forward, shit, everybody else, they gotta shit. What I went through, they gotta go through what I went through. Whoever fight me, they gonna go through what I went through.
I like that. I like that, Frank. Good attitude. Good attitude, man. He's like, man, y'all gonna pay. Y'all gonna go through the same shit I had to go through. Listen, I fought on the stage. You know, I had some distractions, but shit, next time around, I'll be ready, man. He basically saying no stage bigger than that Tank fight. So the rest of y'all, look, I'm wrecking shit. That's what he's saying, and I like it. I love the energy. Yeah, Del Santos said you know, at least he said they'd be 100%. So I just hope he will be. You know what I mean? Definitely fought the better man. 100%.
You know, you speak about, it sounds like the just fighting on a big stage, right? Like, you know, you probably were training real well. You were boxing really well. A lot of people feeling like essentially if the fight went the distance, you know, it was slowly favoring in your fashion until, you know, things changed towards the end. But for the most part, that big stage feeling that you kind of speak of, did that actually affect your actual fighting though? Like, I guess
I don't think that it affected the fight. I don't think that it affected my fight because I was so locked in, man, on winning. You know, like I wanted that spot, I wanted that position. So I was really so focused on winning. But like when I think back, like me just being in the ring, like I blocked everything out, you know, from the time I walked in the ring and everything. But like my to this day, I don't know if me getting tired in the fight was because of the atmosphere and all of that, and just the nervousness of the fight, or was it because I lost all of the weight that I lost? It's a mixture. It's been on my mind, like not now, but it's just been one of them things. Like, damn, was it the magnitude of the fight that got me more tired, or was it the weight cut? You know, it's one of them things. Like, I don't know. I don't know what it was, but shit, I'm moving up because I felt like it possibly could have been the weight, and it could have been a crowd. You know, it could be both.
Right.
You know, I appreciate.
I think that's real, man. Like, because people was asking that would the stage be too bright, and he did have some moments, but overall he performed well into, you know, them legs, you know, and the pressure. I think the body shots mixed with the nerves, right? The stage of the crowds, like he said, the combination of things, and it caught up to him, man. You know, the better man end up winning the fight. And like I said, I'm just glad that he's going up to the next weight class. But we don't got to see him depleting himself to try to shrink down and make 35. Just going up and see how good you're going to be at 40. Like he said, Tank is the reason. Yeah, that's definitely the reason. He said he got tired, because he was saying,
you know,
like,
a lot
why,
of times you
what
hear
led
people
to him being
speak
tired? He said,
about
like,
things
far as
like
his
that,
legs,
and
was
I
it
believe you're being
the
genuine.
weight cut, or
So
was
when
it
you
like
take
pride
that,
and nervousness?
you know, experience into the next fight, it's just the fact that you're kind of
I
just
think it was some body
comfortable to
shots too.
perform essentially in front of, regardless of the magnitude of the size, right? Like it's like the first time you box, but then you bring your friends and family, and you're like, all right, I've been practicing in the gym, but
It's like you do more. I ain't gonna lie. Like, if you go watch my fights, like that fight, I was more like I wasn't me. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't relaxed like I needed to be relaxed. I wasn't really like You know, like I wasn't me. You know, I'm fighting one of the biggest names in the sport. And then too, like we got history already. So I wasn't all the way, I wasn't all the way who I'm supposed to be in that fight either. So
To me, that when he say that just seemed like overall the moment was big. And it's okay to say that. You know what I mean? But that's what it sounded like. Yeah, and I don't think he was discrediting Tank. He just giving us a explanation for why he felt like his legs may have got tired by the 5th round. Because, obviously in his estimate, that ain't happened in none of his other fights. But that's what he asking, like, is it a combination of that? Nervousness. He talked about a few things, right? But I think it was all of that with the fact that you fight one of the biggest names. You got Tank Davis in front of you. He was landing body shots. He had a number of things that was slowing you down. He was doing quite a bit of moving as well as fighting really well in them early rounds. So he was kind of burning the candle at both ends, along with any possible distractions or anything else that would burn your energy, man. So that's all that was. And I think it was the kind of pressure that Tank was applying too. He just had the high guard. He was walking him down. That's mental pressure, right? Taking his shots and still being right there and then giving them back and going to the body. It's a combination of shit, but I think overall he feels as though the stage was big. That's what it sounded like.
What would you say like was the difference? Because you guys sparred, and I know kind of we talked how the sparring essentially went, but either or, was there a difference from like Tank that you saw from sparring? Like, did he have like a different, or did it just still felt? Because you guys had a good sparring match.
My fight, like to be honest, the fight wasn't a hard fight. The fight wasn't like a fight like where I was just like, damn, like I can't do nothing. It is just a hard fight. It was just like more of I was fighting a fight of I was fighting like I felt like urgency. I don't know how to explain it. You know what I'm saying? Like I just wasn't me. I wasn't comfortable in the ring. I was fighting more like anxious, instead of just being relaxed and comfortable doing me. Like I ain't fighting my fight in that fight.
Did you?
Man, it's obvious to say that, but again, I think a lot of that was the moment and the fighter, the stage, the magnitude of the fight. A lot of that shit is real. And the more I hear him talk and explain, him saying he wasn't him, he wasn't himself, he wasn't loose. You know what I mean? Yeah, you was tense. You had them tense moments because you're in a big ass fight with a guy that can knock your head off. Like, and sometimes that moment could be bright, man. That's why they say it's much different under them lights when that stage is set. And Tank was trying to tell you that. You get what I'm saying? I think he got to experience it, which would probably do him a lot of good moving forward in his career. I would hope so because he's a damn good fighter.
You feel like you were ahead on the scorecards? Because I know the fight Saturday with Caleb Plant, it seemed like he's not saying you, but like he's been considered like a front runner. So it seems like he would try to pile up and win the early rounds. And then if he makes it through the second half, because he thought he won 7-5, and he's thinking, all right, I won 5 out of 6. You said what?
That's Caleb talk.
Yeah, like Caleb thought he won 7 out of 5. So he kind of was like, I banked 5 here, and I had at least banked 1 or 2 in the second half. So, did you feel like you were ahead and you had to kind of like do, you know what I mean? Like because you're fighting Tank, the A side.
Yeah, no, I know one thing about it. Like fighting him is like honestly, I feel like even if the fight would have went the distance, they still wouldn't have gave me the fight. I feel like they still was gonna take it from me. Because at the end of the day, that's their star. That's who making them the money. Like it's a couple fighters, that's big names that's bringing in the most money, right? So if you ain't knocking these motherfuckers out, like they gonna take it from you every time. So even if I feel like even if the fight would have went the distance, they still would have took that fight from me. Even when I got dropped, my 10 count was so fast. The 10 count was super fast. I had the same ref Devin Haney had when he fought Ryan, and he gave Devin a million chances. I get dropped, I stand up on my own, I do everything. He counted me out. I could have grabbed, I could have did everything to shake back, but he counted me out.
Yo, Frank funny as hell. Frank said, I could have grabbed, I could have did all. Nah, Frank, I ain't gonna lie, bro. I ain't even gonna hold you. I think the ref stopping it, that was better for the health of your career. I'm not even being funny when I say that, because that would have been a bad situation. Like after he dropped you and like stepped by you, if you would have got up in there to let that jump continue, you did get up, but there to let that continue, grab. Nah, hell no, that shit would have got bad. Frank funny as hell. Shout out to Frank, in my opinion, anyway. Because I think the knockdown was so clean, and he was like down for a second, then he got up. I'm like, bro, if he would have punched you at all after that, he said his eyes was closed. This shit funny. Yeah, that Marcus, man. It's this man, yo. So I thought that 10 count was fast. He was out of there. Yeah, they say it's like a blink of an eye getting knocked out. Bro said the 10 count.
The fight would have went the distance, they still would have took that fight from me. Even when I got dropped, my 10 count was so fast. 10 count was super fast. I had the same ref Devin Haney had when he fought Ryan, and he gave Devin a million chances. I get dropped, I stand up on my own, I do everything. He counted me out. I could have grabbed, I could have did everything to shake back, but he counted me out.
Hey Frank, I ain't even gonna lie.
My last
too
thing
much
on
shaking
it is
back from that.
What do you?
It wasn't
Since
gonna
the
be
fight's
too much
over,
shaking
and
back.
I know that fighters have respect for each other. I know, he has respect for you. You have respect afterwards, like a brotherhood thing. But what do you think about him as a fighter? Do you think he's the best at 135?
Yeah, I think Tank nice. You know what I'm saying? I fuck with Tank as a person. I know he go through like, boxing, everything, you know what I'm saying? It's fake, from the fans.
This is over. Did it stop? Hold on, y'all. Was this me or him?
To go in the ring, I was fighting. He go through like, boxing, everything, you know what I'm saying? It's fake, from the fans.
Yeah, that's not me. I don't think it's me. Nope. But look, man, shout out to Frank Martin and Fight Hype, man. That was a good conversation with him. We got to get some little information out of that. You don't think Keyshawn gonna beat the Santos. He let you know what was up with the Tank fight and the reason why he went up to 35, right? I mean up to 40. So, and then the fact that he not working with Derrick James, but he said it ain't no bad blood. So I ain't, don't mess with Texas was good. He said he training with Buddy McGirt. Can't say I seen that coming, and somebody else named Marco from Dallas. I mean, look, that's cool. I don't see, ain't nothing wrong with it, man. Sometimes you make changes, bro. So I just hope he go up to 140 and do his thing up there. You know what I'm saying? I really do like Frank Martin, cool, calm dude. Like his energy, he don't do a whole lot of talking, and he get in there and he's an entertaining guy. He could fight. I mean, I like him, but that was funny. Bro said, man, my 10 count was so fast. Say, yeah, Frank, I hear, man, it's like a blink of an eye and it's over. You know what I'm saying? You look up and they be at 10, bro. Shout out to JB. He said Frank looked like he was laying in the cat. It's crazy how he fell because it did look like that. It looked a lot like that. I'm not gonna hold you.
And we ain't never got a box again. Well, right. well. I already been getting these bets, but now it's time for you to get your just do.
Shout out to JB. He said, Tank made him take a 10-second cat nap. I'm telling you, that shit was quick. You know them naps. You know how them naps be. Big Tex, what it do, homie? You know what I'm saying? You know how them naps be. Them unexpected naps always, they be over in a heartbeat. You be like, I just went to sleep. Them unplanned naps always the fastest, bro. Feel like you just got down there, right, Frank? I know. Just got down there. Next day, they count you out. Bro said I could have got out. I could have grabbed anything to shake back. Nah, I wasn't no shaking back. He rattled your brain on something different, bro. You probably was partially concussed a little bit, man. It wouldn't have been a good idea to let that fight continue. All jokes aside, because there's no scenario where you make it up out of there good after that. That it's all bad after that. That anything further than what he did, that's definite sunken place, shadow realm material, bro. You already memed you. That would have been wild. Like that's a knockout you don't want. that knockout that would have possibly took place had they let it continue is the difference between you being good to go to your next weight class and do your thing and possibly go to the next weight class and be a shell of yourself. I'm not even joking. Like, that would have been unnecessary. It would have been overkill because you was hurt. And it's all good because the shots was clean. You was fatigued. You obviously slowed down. The body work then caught up to you. He started catching you more cleanly. And then he set up that combination, man, and got you out of there. That shit was flush. So, nah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, he would have had it. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, Cass. He would have been, he'd have went to the shadow round just like Leo. They'd have been waking him up for real. He'd have really thought that at that point, he would have been thinking he wouldn't even know what happened because Leo didn't know what was good for a second. And boy, they woke Leo up. Leo was looking around like, is it over? You know what I'm saying? You don't need that, man. Shout out to Frank, but he definitely ain't need not that type of dirt nap, bro. You don't need that. You don't need that, man. Shout out to Frank Martin, though, man. 140 is his next destination, and listen, I'm here for it, bro. Hopefully, everything is in working order. He gelled well with Buddy McGirt and his new trainer, Marco. I think he said his name was, so. Let's see it. Frank been out of sight for a while. He's dealing with some inactivity, change of trainer. So, he looking to answer some questions, but he said he coming back to raise hell. So, I don't have no idea where they're going to put him at in his first fight, but we'll see. Woke up to a Pop Smoke concert. I'm telling you, that shit would have been all bad. It already was bad enough, but yeah, I do think they did him a solid by not letting it continue. I thought it was good. I thought it was a good stoppage. I always did. I mean, definitely a good stoppage. But we're gonna keep rolling, man. Something I wanted to bring up real quick. Jamal Charlo, he just fought this past weekend anyway. They got him jumped up to number 2 in the WBA rankings. I only say that because some talk about him possibly getting a Canelo fight. And with him not looking like he has better days and he get a win, they move him up in the rankings. That could possibly set him up to be a potential Canelo opponent. That's what I could see happening right after that one win, because at this point he on a retirement tour. And I know he's seeing that's right up his alley to fight a guy now rather than he did when he was at his absolute best. And to be fair, he's seen better days too, Canelo. So Jamal Charlo being moved up to number 2 in the WBA rankings, I'll keep my eye on that and see if we start hearing that Canelo and Jamal Charlo talk again. But in the meantime, let's see who we fight. I think him and Andre is a good fight. Him and Plant still a good fight. Butcher was good with it, bro. Was good. So I don't know. But that's good thing for Jamal. He got to win this past weekend. So he trained with Marcos from the Boxing Voice. Oh, that's who that is? Marcos from the Boxing Voice that he said he's from Dallas. Shout out to him. I didn't know that's who. Oh, is that Marco Boxing? The Marco Boxing dude? That I didn't know. I didn't know that's who he's referring to. Mo jab slowed down, but it still cracks. Yeah, I think he looked a bit slower. I think that's the time off too. Still acclimating, getting back into fight shape. I think he could be a bit sharper than that, possibly. I think he could, but yeah, still cracking, still heavy, educated, dangerous, really solid, really good jab, as a matter of fact, man. It was some real good work he was doing. I think the last backfire Canelo face, yeah, but he lose the bud. You could forget about it, Jordan. You'll never see him in there with another one. He won't be able to fool him again. Boy, he think he got one right now. That's why he willing to get in there. He felt like he got one. He don't think Bud the same fighter. He don't think he moved the way he used to. He probably think he can't. So, trust me, he take a fight now out of nowhere. Because before, remember, he wasn't interested in it. Remember, it went from that, he ain't going to get no credit and all that stuff, to him being willing to fight him. Because he probably feel like he got some advantages for sure. Trust me, Canelo don't take fights. He feel like he can't win. But it could be one of those. He could have a Bevel type moment with Canelo, like where you'd be surprised at how good this dude fight back. So we gonna find out. Sure, not above it, big dude. Yeah, for sure. For sure. For sure. But let's keep rolling. Y'all hit the like button, man. As we see, this August 16th date that fell by the wayside, it didn't happen. But we had another fight, which was the rematch between Tank and Roach. That's supposed to take place in August. That's good. We wouldn't want to see both of those fights on the same date anyway. So maybe it's a silver lining to this. Maybe it's a reason why Tio could have said no, because that's the only good reason I could see, right? And I didn't even think of that earlier, is the fact that Tank and Roach was, at least that's the date that they announced, right? That they put out there for them to fight. So maybe it wouldn't be a good idea to compete with them two, but in that rematch. But, Eddie Hearn spoke about the first fight, and he said he had some interesting shit to say. He said this was pretty much like a cherry pick gone wrong. Let me roll the clip.
You know why? Because he's not a big name and he's a good fighter. And he's an underrated fighter that not a lot of people know.
Wait, that's good matchmaking.
Don't get me wrong, for the fan, great, you get a real fight. But what I'm saying is, you don't take risk against someone that's not going to give you the reward. If he beats Lamont Roach, everyone goes, he's a super feather. Who was Lamont Roach?
Yeah, fair.
Now he, potentially could have lost, and everyone's like, Tank's finished. You know what I'm saying? Well, it gives him the storyline to come back and take another fight. So really, if you're the PBC or someone like that, you're actually now thinking, do you know what? It's actually worked out all right. We had to do that fight. Now we've actually got a much bigger fight against the same guy who's probably on a good price for the rematch as well. You know what I'm saying? So business is good if Tank can get motivated. But listen, Lamont Roach is a good fighter, and he could lift himself as well in a rematch.
You see that? That's an interesting way to frame it. But I've heard a lot of people say that too. But I think it just goes to show you why you got to see these fights. We be underrating certain guys. And, I never really hear people admit to that. And I think we underrate, what history could mean. And when guys share the ring with each other on numerous occasions, how a potential fight under the lights could play out. And I think Lamont Roach showed a lot of people why you don't count guys out. And why, despite what we think about the fights, why we still got to see him. But I heard a lot of people calling it a cherry pick, different things like that. But obviously it wasn't. Look how the fight played out. Cherry pick gone wrong, I think, is a stretch. Only way you could look at it as a cherry pick is if Lamont Roach was some type of trash fighter. Now, maybe he wasn't the biggest name. I hate this notion where people be like, nobody knows him. Maybe not on the level that we know Tank, obviously, right? But people knew who Lamont Roach was. He's a good fighter. People watch Pro Box. You had to see him fight. That's they shit over there. So I don't know. I feel like people knew him, but the casual audience maybe didn't know who Lamont Roach was. But there's a lot of people that did. And I think after, March 1st, their first fight, I think a lot more people know who Lamont Roach is. And I think they'll be tuned in to see what the rematch going to look like. But, interesting choice of words from Eddie Hearn to call it a cherry pick gone wrong. They always take shots at Tank. It's nothing new. But at the end of the day, this low-key turned into somewhat of a legacy fight because it ended up being her first rematch for this man in a fight with a lot of controversy that, this is not something that he accustomed to. So it makes the second fight all that more the better. Both guys, from what I understand, is locked in and ready to get back in there. So I'm going to just sit tight and wait for the rematch. Yeah, that's why we see these fights, man. You never know. We all think we know how every fight gonna go out. We always make our picks, but I'm wrong enough to know that no matter what I think, I still want to see the fight to see if I'm right. Keandre Ward interviews are much. Why? Hell yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. They always Andre Ward is all his interviews is gold. All them joints is fire. All of them. All of them. But let's keep rolling, man. So furthermore, Coach Bullitt did an interview as well. Short interview, by the way, y'all. And he spoke about the rematch. I want to let y'all hear what he had to say about the rematch between Tank and Roach. Everybody had their different opinions on it, but that's why I say it's going to be good to see the fight finally because it went from, I ain't want to see this fight and da-da-da-da-da to now everybody having an opinion on it and talking about how the second one going to go and people giving Lamont Roach a lot more of a chance, and some people picking him to win. Some people saying Tank gonna lose, and some people like Lamont Roach did as good as he gonna do, and Tank can do better. He got room for improvement, so he gonna win the rematch. So when I hear all the different takes and back and forths, I like it, man, because it tells me that this fight is going to be pretty damn good, bro. If people allow it to be. You know what I mean? Just sit back and enjoy it. You know what I mean? Need a rematch. Yeah, I'm glad they get it. Look like
maybe like if Tank's able to get past Roach. I mean, do you think Tank's going to get past Roach in the rematch? Because the first one was pretty competitive.
I think it's going to take Roach a little more serious. And I feel like he could get past Roach. Because Roach had the perfect opportunity to get past Tank, and he didn't. Not a 10-8 round controversy, really. It just fucks with the integrity of the sport. You see what I'm saying? And I'm not a judge. I'm not a referee.
That's a fact too.
I'm just glad that, you know, Tank has somebody that can give him a good competition with good experience, good IQ, and can go back to Fort with him and give the people a great fight. We're looking for great fights. You know what I'm saying? And like everybody sees Cinco de Mayo weekend, maybe one or two. Rolly worked magic. Teofimo put on a show, and the heavyweight between Bicoli and F.A. Jock Bar was a good turnout. You know what I'm saying? But the rest of them was just, you know, there to collect a check. And I heard Tim Bradley going off, and he's telling the truth.
What did you think about Devin's? I guess some people look at it as potentially just, you know, he's coming back from a kind of a tough fight with Ryan. And
yeah, he did the right thing. And like I told people, if he had fought Ryan a little more cautious and a little more respect, he would have beat Ryan too, 12-0 in boxing. He's the ultimate boxer. Why do you want to fight somebody like that that's bigger, naturally bigger, longer, stronger? You have to use your brain. That's like when Magic Taylor fought Cesar Chavez fight on the inside when he could have just stayed on his toes and boxed the shit out of him. You know what I'm saying? It made a big difference. You feel what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, man, these styles make fights. And I think Devin box anybody, he'll beat him.
And see, I like that from him as a coach. Is he giving Devin a lot of credit for what he is as a boxer, and he not caught up into what he expect him to look like. And that's a guy that's trained a Rolly, for better or for worse, a dude that punches hard as hell, is a puncher, right? Devin is not that, but he's still able to highlight what he is and how that makes him good. And if you stick to that and what he does well, he's going to more times than not win a damn fight. Had he stuck to more of a boxing first type game plan against Ryan, we'd probably be having a different conversation today. And I agree with him with that. You know what I mean? You don't give a guy what they want. You know what I mean? You don't go in there giving a guy his best shot to get you, right? You got to limit those opportunities. PGA's big dog, what's good with it, bro? Unless you that bad. But that's very risky in a situation like that, in a matchup like that, where guys are familiar with each other. You want to limit his opportunities and make sure you don't give him the looks that he wants, right? You don't fight him in a manner that gives him the best shot at beating you. And that's what you was doing in many of those spots in the fight, and it cost you. So I like what Bullet said, just giving the man credit for being a damn good boxer, a master outboxer. He can get in there and outbox you. Stick to the sweet science, bro. That's what got you here. Sticking to the sweet science and being.
They're saying Devin he wants Tio, but Tio wants Jerron Ennis. So if you had it your way, would you advise Tio to fight Devin or Jerron Ennis?
I think he should fight Devin first and then move up to Jerron Boots Ennis, because they're all coming out that 35 bracket and they all should have fought each other already. All this shit is played out. Shakur, Tank, Devin, Ryan, Rolly, Theo, they should all have been fought. Because Rolly jumped the line in front of 3 or 4 of them to fight Tank.
Yeah.
Because they all scared to fight each other and scared their fucking nose. You know what I'm saying? So they need to fight. Boots is a true 47-pounder. Get past the other guys that the fans want to see, and that job and talking shit to each other. Let's get it popping.
Yeah.
You know?
Do you favor one over the other than Devin and Tio? Because I know that
they both got great qualities. Like I said, it depends on the mindset of the fighter the night of the fight.
Damon was good, bro.
I feel like Devin will definitely have the ability to stick to his boxing and outpoint Theo. But Theo is a dog, and he's creative, and he has a lot of movement and creativity, and he works magic, kind of like a Bud Crawford. You know what I'm saying? they're not the typical. They're unorthodox, kind of like a Rolly is, but a little more fine-tuned. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, I know. We've also spoke about, the potential of Rolly, fighting one of those guys, when they meet up, because he sparred Tio, sparred Devin. You've been there in all those camps and stuff like that. So, I mean, is it different if those guys would to face Rolly at 147 to when
It's a way different story now. When those guys faced Rolly, he was a couple years into boxing.
Mm.
See, he had a high ceiling still to go when they was already, peaking out.
Mm.
As far as the learning curve,
mm-hmm.
as far as development. So now, to me, the biggest threat to all them guys is Teofimo Lopez.
Yeah, really?
I feel like him and Rolly at the end of the day could fight for 25, 50 million.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, but Theo need to fight Devin and 50 million.
Yeah.
To me, the biggest threat to all them guys is Teofimo Lopez.
Yeah, really?
I feel like him and Rolly at the end of the day could fight for 25, 50 million.
Yeah.
And Rolly and Teofimo Lopez ain't fighting for no damn 25, 50 million. What? Man, what you talking about, Willis? Man, what you talking about, Bullet? At 25, 50 million, you think Rolly and Teo's a 25 to 50 million dollar fight? Why would it be that? What in the hell? Why would they pay either of those dudes that kind of money? That just, I don't get that. But Teofimo could be, I think that the biggest threat to people if he just focused on it right and went and made the fights and stopped getting in his way, because the dude is talented. He has the ability and the potential to be God's biggest threat. But when it's all said and done, what the story gonna read? Is he gonna fight any of these guys that he so-called their biggest threats, right? Is he gonna fight these dudes, or is he just gonna talk about it? So yeah, hell nah. 50, you know what I mean? Shout out to Cash Sports. 25 to 50 million is wild. Legacy mindset, what it do, man? How you feeling, man? That was tough, man. You Tio and Rolly, a 25 to 50 million dollar fight. Wow. That's
as far as the learning curve.
That's ambitious.
As far as development. So
he was
now,
cooking before that, wasn't
to
he?
me, the biggest threat to all them guys is Teofimo Lopez.
Yeah, really?
I feel like him and Rolly at the end of the day could fight for 25, 50 million.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Theo need to fight Devin and everybody else can fight each other.
Ron,
and I think between Teofimo Lopez and Rolly, because they're so close and family ties and been looking out for each other for years. We've been to camps together. I feel like they have such a good relationship, but they're both businessmen at the end of the day and know that one day they will have to face each other. But I always told them, it got to be for a big ticket.
Of course.
And they both created a path to where it becomes a big ticket now. But I think Theo should fight Devin and then worry about Boots. You know what I'm saying? Or if you fight.
See, and that's why I like old Bullet, man, old Bullet Baxter, man. Bullet out here, he cooking, man. Shout out to Bullet. The 25, 50 million, you on with that one. With everything else, you talking, even with the tank assessment, man. Like, good assessment there. You ain't do no hating on that, man. You gave both guys their credit for it being a great fight. I like everything he was saying about the 25, 50 million, man. That's it. Everything else he's saying is cool. It's cool. Shout out to John BX, man. Appreciate you supporting the grind, man. It's Tio. Tell Bullet to pass that ish, man. That man is hot. He said 25, 50 M's for Rolly versus Tio. Yeah, that crazy. Somebody said Rolly must owe him a couple of dollars. Yeah, man. For him to think that, I mean, I don't know where he would get that from, but yeah, they just not that. They not them type of ticket sellers, and I don't think that fight will ever garner that. I think Rolly, he did, winning the Ryan Garcia fight was impressive, I think, but it's all how he capitalized off that and the way he sound. He don't even care what's next. He just want to go with family. So he don't even. I wonder if he even capitalized off that win, but I still don't think it's no scenario where him and Teofimo fight to be worth 25, 50 million dollars. I got 5 on it. Besides that, the 25, 50 million, he's tripping on that. Anything else, he's cooling.
At the end of the day, and know that one day they will have to face each other. But I always told them, it got to be for a big ticket.
Of course.
And they both created a path to where it becomes a big ticket now. But I think Theo should fight Devin and then worry about boots. You know what I'm saying? Or if you fight Devin and successful, then him and Rolly could probably do something. You know what I'm saying? But I know Boots is right there, and everybody's shooting for Boots because that's the brand that runs the 47 right now.
Is that too much for Tio? Because I think majority of people view, Jerron Ennis like above like what
Fuck what
Tio's
people
capable of.
think. Fuck what people think. Boxing ain't about what people think. Boxing is about mano a mano. Your fans can't help you. Your coach can't help you. Can't nobody help you win in that motherfucking square circle. You feel me? It's between those two who got the tougher intangibles at the end of the day. The talent is up there. Now, who has the fucking talent? I mean, the intangibles. You feel what I'm saying?
Can Tio match him? Because I know Timothy Bradley got a lot of online criticism for the fact that he said, keep Teofimo Lopez away from Jerron Ennis, Eddie Hearn, if you want to, keep him safe and sound.
I think it's a great fight, and they're both dangerous fighters, so they need to fight at the end of the day.
Okay.
It ain't nobody keeping nobody from nobody.
He meant
That's
that.
why boxing is
dead serious,
starting to get on my nerves a little bit. It's a thin line between love and hate. Every coach, every fighter, every commentator, every podcast, we all have that thin line. We love the sport. We're fans. I'm a pugilist. I'm a fan. I'm a trainer. I'm a promoter now. But hey, we want to see what the fuck we want to see, and we don't want to wait 5 years till it's too late. 10 years is too late. That shit don't. We want to see it in the prime. I remember the Four Kings back in the 90s.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We need to see that.
Yeah,
I can rock with that. I think what we seeing to a degree in boxing too is what could happen when people over marinate fights, and I rock with that. I just hope we can get to a space where that don't happen as often or at the rate that it happens in boxing today. You get what I'm saying? We just want it. We want to pay for shit that is worth the money, man. You know what I mean? We don't want to be sold a dream. We don't want to see a bunch of gimmies and layups. We really want to see some good matchups, man, that we could, talk about for years to come, man. That's gonna grow the sport, man. The better these fights are, the more talented guys that you put in front of, other A-level guys, man. We get a good turnout, good result, man. More people want to support, man.
Take the business hat off and just throw the fan hat on.
Yes, exactly. You feel me?
LeVar, my guy, man. What it do, homie? Shout out to Ron, man. He always doing. He be grinding his ass off. Shout out to Fight Hype, man. Ron be working, bro. He be good interviews. I be catching these little things and I be just playing them for y'all because there'll be some good stuff in some of these. I like what Bullet was saying. Like I said, even from with Tio, he feel like Tio should fight at Devin, man. Leave that Boots thing alone right now. That could be down the line for real. And I ain't telling them what to do, but it just don't seem as realistic as a Devin Haney fight right now, especially when you already got half the work done. All you got to do is want to fight in that situation, right? With Boots, like that's kind of out of your control because that guy ain't thinking about you. Devin Haney is thinking about you. Bill Haney is thinking about you. They ready to fight y'all. And that's the disappointing part about all of this, bro. So, but like I said, maybe it was a good sign, though, that it didn't happen because of the date. I could see that not being the smartest thing to do. I don't care what you say. If they putting the fight on the same day that Tank and Roach would have been fighting, that would have been stupid. But it's funny. He come out and make statements on everything else, but he's very spotty with the statements that he want to make is in regards to this fight, and probably because he know the reason that it ain't happening is on him. Shout out to John, man, back in the super chat. Appreciate you, bro. You say even trick ass turkey like get out of there. Hell no, I ain't paying them no 25, 50 M's. Hell no. Here's 1.5 a piece. Sign a damn contract. I'm telling you, might throw him a couple of piece. I heard Rolly got like a career high, like 5 million his last fight. I did the fight Ryan, between 5 and 5.5 or something like that. I did hear that, but something I could see something like that, maybe where they get a few million or a couple million, something to that effect, but no scenario where these guys are walking away with tens of millions of dollars, yo. No way, no how. I can understand people feeling like he don't really care about the return on his investment, but damn, I'll be damn, he ain't no damn charity case. He ain't just giving it out like that now. You get me? How you should just 25, 50 M's. Shit, I disguise myself as Rolly or Tio right now for that kind of money, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Hell no, man. But yeah, man, I you just never know with this dude, man. He got it all laid out for him if he just take the opportunities that's being provided for him and be smart about it. You get what I'm saying? He just need to be smart. Mike Bay, what it do, man? Gotta be smart. He said, I knew this. You knew Tio wasn't taking the fight. Yeah, man. He said, nah, they giving it away. Yeah, but you know that I think that's a different ballpark right there with them two, especially when you look at Tio and like obviously his team ain't like everybody else's, bro. Where some say what you want about Devin Haney, but he get to the bag. Everybody know that about him, right? To the point where people will say he was overpaid too, right? But at least he get into it with Tio. The potential is there, and you feel like with some of the fights in his resume, you feel like he should be there too. But obviously, his team, and no disrespect to nobody that's on his team, that worked for him. But that's a reflection. There got to be a reason that he ain't being paid like these other guys. Like they say, the talent is there. Paulie Malignaggi said, Teofimo Lopez's resume alone by itself is better than both Tank's and I think he said Devin's. Right, combined. That's what he said. So it's a lot of high praise around the dude, and he is accomplished. But like it's always the same song and dance with the dude. Always like he getting his way, and then you get people to make excuses for why he moved the way he do instead of just making the fights and standing on business. He continues to be a damn idiot. You know what I'm saying? And I can't rock with it personally. I don't rock with it. None of it. None of it, man. But we gonna keep rocking, man. I got one more clip for y'all, one more short interview. And this is Keshon Davis fight is coming up this weekend. So his name has always been thrown out there. People always being asked about him. And look, Tito Mercado, I like Tito. Y'all know it. I rock with him. He confident. That dude want to fight. Man, I want to see him in some bigger fights, some step-up fights moving forward, man, because that dude hungry. I just want to see how good he is. He want the opportunities, and I don't think they should, shy him of any opportunity. So he just got to keep winning, Tito. He not getting fights, but don't want to sign an $11 million contract. That's a fact. Yeah, $50 million is crazy, ain't it? Boy, that's super, 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 super generous, man. Super, super, super generous. 50 million. 25, 50 million. But let's hear what Tito Mercado had to say, man. He had some more. He had, did a little short interview. And he was
here with an electrifying fighter, Tito Mercado, a walking highlight reel, 17-0, 16 knockouts. What's going on, Tito? How are you, man?
Man, I'm doing great, man. I'm doing great. I'm sure y'all got the news of me fighting June 14th, man, for some titles. So I'm just excited as you guys are, man. And I'm just ready to start, getting these fights in, man, with these world champions. That's what I've been wanting for a while.
Definitely, man. You have a 94% knockout ratio, man. It's like you are a fan-friendly fighter. People are excited to see you come. What's it been like working with Eddie Hearn so far up to this point?
So far, it's been good, man. It's everything that we expected and everything that we wanted. We wanted more eyeballs on us. We feel like, obviously I was being self-promoted my first, 10 or so fights. And, I fought some pretty good names, but it was kind of being under the radar a little bit because we didn't have the promotion and stuff like that. But now being with Eddie Hearn, I mean, y'all saw with the first fight with Pedraza happened, man. I kind of blew up a little bit more. So that's exactly what we wanted, man. And then, I mean, obviously producing knockouts helps out a lot. So we're just trying to do our job and they're doing their job, man. I think we're working great together.
Definitely. Your last fight, you blew out Pedraza in 4 rounds. Talk about that performance compared to Keshon Davis. You got a lot of beef with a lot of fighters, which is good because these fights are just lined up. It's just going to be action packed for you. So what do you think about your performance compared to Keshon's?
I thought my thing was a lot more. I would say I felt like my performance was a lot cleaner, I wouldn't say one-sided because I mean Keshon definitely obviously it was a one-sided fight for him, but at times it got a little bit sloppy. You know, Keyshawn would get too close, and you know Pedraza would do this weird stuff, and it kind of looked a little sloppy at times. And I mean, ultimately, man, I'm the one that put Pedraza down. I knocked him down. You know, Keyshawn had him standing on his feet, and even then, it was a good stoppage, but it could have went a little longer. So I just felt like the way I did it, you know, I did it in 4 rounds. I put him on his ass, and man, I had everybody entertained, man. I mean, what else? I mean, what else can I really say? I mean, you got an Olympic silver medalist, right, going for a world title fight. You took him out, but I took him out better. So I mean, I think that shows everything.
I mean, shout out to Tito. He's supposed to say everything he's saying. And man, I'm not big on arguing with guys about their opinions and their personal feelings about fights, but I thought Keshon and Pedraza was a really good fight, entertaining. I thought Keshon shows you exactly why he looked at as one of them guys, right? He handled him very clean, but I knew at the moments that Tito was talking about. But Tito obviously, you know, watching with a, you know, bird's eye view and being super critical, right? Nothing wrong with that because it's competitive and he felt like he had the better fight. Nothing wrong with that. Just want to see him in more fights moving forward and even bigger fights because he's hungry. He got the energy and attitude that you want a fighter to have. Whether or not you think he overly ambitious, I'm not here to say that. I like the confidence. I like the energy. Until somebody prove otherwise, this dude, he want the smoke. He want the fights. He want the opportunities. If given the opportunity, I think he'll make really good fights moving forward. And he is entertaining. He's a strong kid, a knockout guy. He get rid of you. He don't get in there. He not for play. And he hungry. I got to interview him once on here, and he's talking confident since I've ever heard of him. And it's been the same talk. It's always been the same kind of talk. And I think, you know, anytime you got a guy like that that's hungry, that's going to put the work in, that's going to take the challenges and fight the fights, you know what I mean? You got to appreciate him, man. So I rock with him.
Keyshawn, he hasn't talked a lot of trash. You talk a lot of trash. If you guys clash, would you be willing to, I know you're not going to move down, but if he was to move up to 140, would you entertain that fight? You have so many champions in your division, you know, Teofimo Lopez, Hitchens, you know, would you want to face Keyshawn first, or is there any particular order?
If you move this to 140, man, I'm willing to take that fight ASAP. I mean, like that's the fight I've been wanting. I'm not those type of guys. You know, you got guys like Shakur and all that, man. Be like, oh no, not that fight. But man, if I've been wanting you for a while, man, I'm willing to put. You know, if I'm not a world champion by then, I'm willing to put my goal to the side real quick just to take him out. So I'm not really worried about that. Yeah. So to answer your question, yeah, if he comes to 40, I'm tapping that for sure.
So you'll take that over T.O. or Hitchens if they offer you all three. That was the one that you want first. You want to?
Yeah, because that one was just personal to me. I want to you know take that vendetta off of me.
And how do you beat a fight? I mean, I know you're going for the knockout. Obviously, your power speaks for itself. But how would you go about that? You know, what things can you expose about Keshon, you think?
Man, look, I'm not gonna expose my game plan, but you know, he's a fighter that I felt, you know, at times when he did get touched, I see him a little shaky. And ultimately, man, that look, I fought a lot of guys that do that shoulder roll shit. That shit ain't gonna work with me. You got to switch his style completely to fight me. And I'm gonna just keep doing the same thing I was doing, man. Everybody knows I got power and I can box. I think a lot of people underestimate that I can box too. So once he gets in that ring, he'll see. And I know for sure it won't go 12 rounds. I'll tell you that for sure.
So what's your final message to him? Because he's probably gonna see this, you know, soon.
I mean, he always sees the messages, man, but he chooses to ignore me. He chooses his fights wisely. So I'm saying he just like Shakur, he chooses his fights wisely. But when he sees me, just knows once he comes to 40, he's in my lane now. And then, like I said, man, he's gonna get slept. All that DB3 shit don't mean nothing when he's in the ring with me.
Okay.
Oh shit! I gotta make a short video to this. Tito talking that shit. He said all that DB3 shit don't mean nothing when he in the ring with me. He said it ain't going 12. He getting slept, man. You just like the confidence. You don't have to believe that that's how the fighter go, but you just like to hear it. And he ain't stuttering, and you hear what he's saying clearly. He believe this shit. So I like it, yo. They stay doing him like that. They stay doing him like that. They stay doing him like that. But this is the crazy part. If you look at all three guys and their resumes, you'll see everything you need to see how it stand out. But I understand Tito. Tito is coming from a different position where they've been both as silver Olympic medalists, right? So they had a different spotlight on them, and it's because they put in the work. Tito felt like it was favoritism involved. I talked to him personally, so I heard him speak on this. So he got a different look on them. And he felt like, you know, he was self-promoted, like he said, with his first 10 or so fights. Then finally got signed to the promoter. now he's starting to get some of the buzz surrounding his name, and he just letting it be known he want smoke. I like it. He always said he wanted to fight Keyshawn, and look, I'm here for it when that time comes. Whenever Keyshawn get the 140, if he there and that opportunity present itself, count me in. Take my money right now. But yeah, he always going there. He say against Shakur too.
I can box too. So once he gets in that ring, he'll see. And I know for sure it won't go 12 rounds. I'll tell you that for sure.
So what's your final message to him? Because he's probably gonna see this, soon.
I mean, he always sees the messages, man. But he chooses his army. He chooses his fights wisely. So I'm saying he just like Shakur. He chooses his fights wisely. But when he sees me, just knows once he comes to 40, he's in my lane now. And then, like I said, man, he's gonna get slept. All that DB3 shit don't mean nothing when he's in the ring with me.
Man, shout out to Tito.
Now, Keyshawn and Shakur, you brought that up. Are there friends in boxing, and should they fight? This is business, right? Boxing is a business. Should they face each other? What do you think about that?
Yeah, man. I mean, they're holding the two belts hostage. I think they should be able to face each other, unless they were blood brothers. And I'd be like, you know what? I guess they got a reason to. But man, come on now. They didn't know each other till I think like they were a little older, like 13 or something like that. So I mean, really. But I mean, that's their thing. I heard some I think I seen something where I don't know if they're beefing or whatever, but man, hopefully we get those fights to happen, man. Because or get a new world champion in there, right? We need somebody to beat them then, so we could kind of get it moving. Because nobody likes seeing the belts hold hostage over some friendly shit.
Definitely. Edwin De Los Santos, what do you think of his chances of? He put up a good fight against Shakur. What do you think about him going against Keyshawn? Does he have a chance, an opportunity to beat him?
I don't think so. Just because, man, 2-year layoff, man, that's a long time being laid off, and I doubt he was in the gym for 2 years, too. I know those type of Dominicans, man, they be eating plátano and shit. Bro, they go there on vacation. I mean, he's off that Shakur money still, so I really doubt it, man. I don't think he's been in the gym like that. He's going to come overweight probably. But 2 years is a long time, man, to be laid off. 2 years way too long. So, I mean, Keyshawn should better beat him. I don't think he'll stop him, but I think Keyshawn should better beat him. I mean, he's been active, man.
Definitely. So the discipline will work against him.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, he hasn't been active. Maybe if he had a fight before that, maybe I'll be like, maybe he's already kind of getting his gears warmed up, but I don't see it.
Okay. Now another matchroom fighter that you'll be fighting on the same card on June 14th, Richardson Hitchens. I just interviewed him yesterday. So talk to me about what are your thoughts of facing him, and what do you think about his skill set as a fighter?
I think I'm excited for that type of fight because I don't know if you guys know I'm fighting for the IBF North America title, so I'm trying to work my way up in those rankings to get that fight with him. But man, I think it'll be a good fight. He claims he got this New York fan base and shit. I ain't gonna lie to you, I ain't never heard nobody from New York claim his ass. So I mean, he's delusional as fuck. But I think it'll be a good fight. As far as a fighter, he's just
that's the thing. It's is when we talk about fan bases, they respect Hitchens out there in New York. They do. I ain't gonna say the biggest name, the biggest star, none of that, but his name is respected where you from.
Solid fighter, man, but I feel like he's just super basic.
Like Tito, because
with that power fight,
with
the world title for him, I didn't see nothing special about him. He threw a nice jab, right hand, but I ain't see nothing, no technical. I ain't see no body shots. There's a lot of things that were missing, man, in the world champion, and when we fight, for sure, I know that I'll expose that. And I mean, we saw what Lemos did to him, and Lemos don't got the power I got, so we're gonna see what's gonna happen. But I'm definitely been trying to eye that fight, man. I've been talking about him, but like all these guys, man, they stay quiet. They choose who to come out to. There's a reason why he's going back and forth with Kambosos, because he knows who Kambosos is as a fighter.
Exactly, I hear you. So you're looking to make a big statement at the Garden, and hopefully he'll be watching that. Has Eddie spoken to you about any of the fights or anything with Hitchens or no?
No, but I'm sure, obviously, them getting me the titles that, they're getting me, obviously Hitchens, being his champion, I'm sure we lining something up for that, for sure.
Yeah, that'll be easier to make the fight because you're both in the same promotional company. But what's your final message to Hitchens?
Man, June 14th, man, you better watch out because I'm taking over New York. He's claiming all that New York shit. Like I said, man, I'm taking over New York. So let's just see he brings his A game, man, because George Kambosos, don't get me wrong, I think he's a C-level fighter, but he does come to fight, and hopefully you don't get your title taken from you, man.
Okay, definitely. And then talking about the other champion in your weight division, Teofimo Lopez, WBO champion, he's in talks to face Devin Haney, but he's jeopardizing that fight by dissing Turki Al-Sheikh, calling him a dictator. Did you hear about any of the back and forth on social media?
Yeah, I don't know, man. Something's wrong with Teo. They need to put his ass in an insane asylum or some shit. He's all over the place, huh? I don't know, man. I think he's on drugs. He's lost or something though. He needs therapy or some shit. But yeah, I don't know. He just lashes out too much. He's emotional. He lashes out way too much. I don't know. I don't know if Turkey will work with him, but never know. As far as that fight though, he should be able to beat Devin Haney based on his last performance. He still looks traumatized from that Ryan fight, from what I saw.
Yeah, so he was like being too defensive in your opinion on the bicycle.
Too defensive, and when he did get hit, I mean, it was rare, but when he did get hit or he blocked the shot, he looked shaky. Like he was just traumatized. So I mean, fighters like that, man, usually, there's some fights, man, where you could lose and you could, kind of come back, but when you get beat up like that, man, you're just not the same no more. Kind of like, give you an example, like a fight like Chavez versus Melger Taylor, right? When Melger Taylor took all that damage, the second fight, he's not the same no more. Some fighters, man, you can only go past a certain limit and you can be yourself again the next fight.
Definitely. So Tio's talking about signing with Floyd Mayweather. What do you think about that? And your message to Teofimo Lopez. I know you would like to face him and you want to fight all the champions in the division, but what do you think about him joining Floyd Mayweather?
I don't know if that's a good move. A lot of people leave Floyd Mayweather for a lot of reasons, right? He had a lot of guys like Hitchens, Tank, which I'm sure Tank. I don't think Tank's working with him no more, but they just had a lot of bad things to say about him. So I mean, I don't think that's a smart move. I think he's going backwards. But hey man, if Floyd's paying him, I guess that's fine. But I don't think that's a good move for him. Not at this point in his career.
And how does a fight play out with you and Tio? How do you beat a fighter without giving your game plan? That'll be, down the road maybe. But how do you beat a fighter like him? He has a great athletic ability. Sometimes it seems like when he fights an elite fighter, he performs well. But when he goes up a lesser name, he doesn't perform as well. Maybe he's not motivated or he's not disciplined. He's not training as hard. What do you think about that? And how do you beat him?
I mean, he's a good fighter, man. He's real athletic, but like I said, man, I don't know. I mean, we've seen a lot of fights where he had a lot of flaws, right? And I mean, we've seen that he doesn't really know how to come forward. Not that good. So it's gonna be an interesting type of fight, man. But definitely, we're both gonna be real athletic in that fight, and I just feel like he'll run into something. He's a guy that takes chances, which I like. It's gonna be a fight that's gonna be entertaining, explosive. And I just don't see how he takes that shot, man. We see him get down with Kambosos and Sander Martin, who are not really big punchers. So that would be an interesting fight, man. But for sure, I think he'll probably go a couple rounds because he has a big block head. So it's gonna take a couple of shots for me to loosen him up a little bit. But I think around 5, I think probably like 6 to 8 rounds, I think I'll take him out because he's just a guy, like I said, he just relies on his athleticism too much.
Man, shout out to Tito, man. Tito do his homework. And it's refreshing to hear him say some of this shit that I've been saying for the longest. He over relies on the athleticism. Yeah, he do. Yeah, man, I've been saying that, man. And he know he don't do well off the front foot like that when you got to keep come and get you. You get what I'm saying? Tito do his homework, man. He ain't got no picks, man. He want everybody to be out. I like
the fans appreciate the way you talk about the other fighters. you get them riled up before the event, so you definitely know how to sell a fight and you know how to close the fight with that knockout power. But we just switching gears real quickly. We have a super fight coming in September between Terrence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez. I'm curious to know your thoughts on that fight. Who wins that fight and how?
Man, I've like mixed feelings about that fight. Part of me is like, I think that's just way too many weight classes.
Shout out to Tito, man. He says some cool stuff there, man. He's hungry. He want to fight everybody. Look, he had opinions on everybody. The 140 guys, even the 35 guy. He don't care. Everybody can get it. Like Tito Mercado. Hopefully he come back up here so we can have some. So we can have a dope build. Shout out to Legacy. Remains was good with the fam. All good, man. Another dope build in the books as always, man. Look, T.O., it just continues to be a no-show, man. I'm kind of disappointed to see how he been moving, man, and why he just won't take certain fights and just allow himself to be great. But that's on him. He ain't fighting them this weekend. We got Keyshawn and De Los Santos. I'm going to enjoy it. Going to have some fun with it, man. Another hometown fight for him. Every fight is a risk, bro, especially in front of your people. So you want to make sure that he cross every T, dot every I. He don't want no setbacks. He want to go out there and start kicking his ass. You chat wars. Shout out to everybody. But again, much love. Appreciate everybody coming through, supporting the grind, man. We're going to be back tomorrow to continue this build like we always do. Y'all make sure y'all enjoy the rest of this good Tuesday, and I'll see everybody tomorrow, Wednesday, and peace to the fan.
Yo, you know the deal. We back again. We never slacking. Word 'em up. Ladies and guys, whether if you drunk or you high, it's time to pay respects to the illest man alive. If you think you got a point, he'll shrink you down to size. And from there it's downhill like a slinky or a slide. Open your eyes, got a deep connection with the rise, so you might see him jump in whenever they go live. Peep it, his channel blowing up now, it's not a secret. With tons of exclusive interviews to listen to. Them other channels I hate, but yo, they missing clues. They start narratives, sip the goose and twist the truth. It don't take a rocket scientist to get the proof. Just click the live at 4 p.m. Eastern time. But when you chime in, make sure you keep it kind. But if cowards want to debate, then it's feasting time. My man Jusdu shine busy all the time. Grind 24/7, 365. Videos he might have 365. My rhyme sick, they make you do a 365. You get a rich if you think you fit to survive. It's Jusdueboxing, time to click the live. Ain't no beginners, if you soft, you ain't down to ride. I crush you, respect too, it's Jusdu. He got the illest boxing show on the internet. The boy been a threat and he ain't even had dinner yet. Word 'em up. Yeah. You know what time it is. $4 p.m. Eastern. Click the link.